Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mostly Yoga podcast. My name's Aaron. In case you don't know who I am, I'm the host. This is the thing. Again, I've been taking a very long time to churn these out. I'm busy. I have things to do. But I guess it's just I'm not prioritizing this as much as I'd like to. Not that it's a bad thing. It just, life gets in the way. But I'm very happy to be able to find some time over the weekend. It happened to be National Day a couple of days ago, so I found some time to fucking clean my house. Pack up some stuff, and then sit down, record this. Again, this body has been recorded like months ago. Like at least 3 months ago, and I hate to record it and then wait so long to churn it out because things happen and I forget what I want to say at certain points, or when I record the intros and outros. In an ideal world, I could churn it out the next day. But, thank you for being patient. If you're a new listener, welcome. And if you are a long-time listener, welcome back. Today's episode, if you don't know who already, Meiyan, my good friend. And I think it's going to be quite an interesting one. I think a lot of people know who she is. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy lah, not happy. I am happy, but what's the word I want to use? I'm excited to share this conversation with everybody. This was recorded back at her place a couple of months ago before I moved. And just like the first time when we recorded it, it was at her place also. Same, a lot of ambient noises, a lot of birds chirping. It was kind of raining as well again, of course. So you could hear a bit of thunder at the back. The occasional meows interrupting us and stuff like that, but it's quite nice. I think this particular episode, we didn't really chat about anything in particular. We just sort of sat down hey, what's going on? How's life? Because I haven't seen her in a while as well. And I think we were busy with our own thing, had a lot of personal shifts. So basically, it was just a catch up session, and you guys get to eavesdrop law. As a personal update, life is good here. For those of you who know where I am, time now is it's almost 9 p.m. It's quiet. I'm having a good time here lah. If you ever want to visit, whoever you are, friends who are listening, just let me know. Oh, spoke too soon. Anyway, let's just dive right into the episode without further ado. Oh, and before I always forget this. Okay, so if you like what you hear and share it with your friends, repost it on IG, tag the Mostly Yoga thing, and then I'll repost it. And then if you like to show your support, you can donate to the coffee page. Links are in the description below. Otherwise, it is coffee.com/mostlyyoga to show your support. If you decide to donate, thank you very much. And if you don't, it's fine as well, because I enjoy doing this and I will keep doing this for free. So that's all. Oh yes, okay, yeah. Back to the guests. Without further ado, here is Meiyan. Enjoy. All right.
Where's the left and right? Does it matter?
The other side. The wire behind.
Oh, it's written here.
Yeah, the wire behind me is behind.
Oh.
You're very loud. You are very loud spoken, so it doesn't have to be so close to you.
So I can lean back a little bit here?
Can. Hey.
Oh, I can hear the bird. He's looking at you.
Yeah.
Wasted.
Yeah, forget it. Okay. 开始了. We can just begin whenever lah. 喝水先. I'll give a bit of an intro. As always, I like to say thank you for inviting me into your house. Lovely space. Every time I come, something's different, but it's also the same, very bright, very colorful. Like, it's different, but of course, so far, that same color, the mermaid color. Mao's as friendly as ever. Roku, since the last time I've met him, much more friendlier to me today. And again, the last time that we did this, sat at around the same... I feel like this is my view, because I remember looking at the window. So it might be here, or maybe I was sitting over there.
Okay.
And then, back then, a lot of things were different. We were in a different space. We were younger. We were, very different. We were all in different spaces. During COVID.
Was it during COVID?
Sorry, though. I think it was during COVID, because I remembered I talked about some shit about COVID, what? So it was slightly after circuit breaker. I think I was at home already.
Yeah.
Right? I think I was at home already.
I think you were.
So it was probably
2020, 4 years ago.
4 years ago, yeah. 4 years ago. Here we are. 4 years ago, and fast forward 4 years later. Sitting again at the same spot, same people, but different spaces. You've gone through your own journey, I've gone through my own journey. A nice little reflection or
Do you remember when you wanted to do this second episode with me?
You were supposed to be the first episode, remember? You were supposed to be, I was supposed to premiere with you. Because I was thinking what I want to do with my friend,
Yeah.
Then I think at that time Vera was free, so I did. So Vera's the episode number 1.
And I became
you,
10 plus 20.
I can't remember. But it was 2 to 2 ma. Then I kept asking you blah blah.
But I think it was around the end of last year that you wanted to do this second episode, and then I told you.
Your TT, you
I said maybe wait a few months, because I think things might be different. I had a feeling that things were gonna shift.
You don't say.
And now things are so different. I mean, you're going on your adventure. You're
also going on your own adventure.
Yeah. I've started so many different things. I'm a swim coach now.
Wait,
Yeah.
why were you at TP this morning? To
Oh.
teach or to coach or to...
No. We were doing like a side recce for potentially it being the location of an event that we're going to host in June. So like a swimming championship, and we were looking for a venue, and it was so funny. I cycled there this morning
To
TP. Yeah, it's about 5 to 6 km, so it's quite close.
half an hour?
Half an hour on the way home, but on the way there were so many
First
people on the way
morning.
to school. It took me 45 minutes to just navigate all the traffic.
Yeah.
And I mean, the last time I was really on campus as a student, it was maybe 14 years ago. Yeah, 14 years ago. And they have an air-conditioned concourse now. So when I was cycling past it, I was like, what is this new place? And then it felt so familiar but unfamiliar at the same time. And it was really like I had stepped into a part of my old life, and then I had just watched it become old in front of me, like one of those scenes in the movies where they fast forward 10 years suddenly, because I was at the pool, and then the carpet next to the pool was all ripped up, and the lane ropes had gone from brilliant blue and red to now it's pale.
14 years?
14 years. I mean, they're closing for renovation soon. That's why it's so bad shape now. But yeah, that once upon a time, that was a huge part of my life, man. Yeah, competitive swimming and life saving and all that. And now it feels like after 14 years, I'm kind of returning back to it, because when I kind of entered the yoga world, I left most of that behind, and then yeah, I still stayed in touch with like water sports, probably in the form of diving, but this is probably the first time in a long time that I've kind of revisited that. Yeah, like had the time to revisit that, because after working full-time for slightly more than 10 years, I took a break for the first time in my life.
Yeah, you're saying this.
Yeah. It was supposed to be 3 months, but it turned out to be 3 weeks.
Good enough lah. You went to Bali. You went
I went to Bali.
Bintan?
Bintan, yeah, but Bintan was technically a work
work
trip
thing,
already,
yeah.
yeah.
Lor.
Yeah. So I feel like so far this year has been a lot about going back to the start, man. Yeah, revisiting like the swimming world is one thing, and then going back to the place that I took my teacher training from was another thing. Yeah,
that's true.
There's a lot of like this theme seems to be what this year is gonna be about. And actually, at the start of the year, I feel like a lot of people were going through many shifts. I don't know about you, but a lot of my friends were like changing jobs, leaving relationships that no longer serve them. Yeah, and I feel like more and more people around me, like my close friends and my family, more and more of them were like slowing down. More and more of them were taking breaks. And yeah, just kind of finding that balance between work and life, money and rest.
I think we're at the age also lah.
Yeah.
Right, we're a bit more older. The lifestyle or the mentality is a bit more boring, do you think? You know what I mean?
I guess.
It's a bit more like, we don't really want to... We don't, we're looking for other things now. Our priorities are different. Yeah, it's the change that happened during COVID was a forced one, and it was a very drastic one. For a lot of people having to go on Zoom now, kind of thing, like the world had to adapt to that nonsense. And then now, having things settled down, when you look back on it also, we can't go back to how things usually were. That's why now got 1 day off, everybody can work from home lah, that kind of shit. Things are a bit more accessible or a bit more different law. You know, that's how it is. And I think I welcome that. Like, good, okay. Like, even that change also has led us to where we are now in this journey. I think back on it also, like all the things that have happened and like our journeys with home and all that.
Yeah, so in between this episode and the previous time we were on this podcast, we actually had a period of time where we were finally working at the same place together again. Yeah. I mean, it was a really incredible
I think
experience.
you've been a part of my yoga journey from the start, eh?
Of course.
No, but like,
if you're gonna lead with that, of course.
I remember going to my first few classes at YM with and Jamie was the one that brought me to you. And then afterwards, when we became friends, then after that, go more times. Then I was I want to go to my teacher training. You pointed me to Wendy. I went to Bari instead.
Yes.
And then after that, I teach at MP, teach at YM, teach at HOMThe, and then like you sort of follow me also. You come to HOMThe. That kind of thing. So all the way out.
Yeah, it was like a delayed joining. First, like I brought you to
YM.
I wanted you to come to YM. Then I think you went to NP first. Then after NP you came to YM.
Yeah.
And after that you went to home, and then you brought me there. And then I brought Angeline there. Yeah. So there's a lot of like we're all just kind of following each other around.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I guess in this industry, if you're not here, you're there, right?
Yeah.
And then like it's like one, everybody don't know everybody, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, lor. But a lot of people still miss you at home for sure.
I went for Angeline's class the other day. It was Monday 8 a.m. and it was all the
regulars are the
7 the regulars at Orchard. They're all the same every single day. So I remember I was here for her 8 a.m. class, and I opened the door and I went in, and like 3 or 4 of them turned and they were like, hey, and I was like, oh hi. Then they were like, are you back? Are you teaching? And I was like, no, it's Angeline. And it's nice because I mean now I think if I go back to YM, like nobody is gonna know me there already. It's been too long. But also probably because like I mean I had a fixed schedule when I was at home, so those few people that I see, like I remember them, and then like you build a relationship with them, And then after a while, they also pick up on your bad habits, you know. So like a lot of the students who came to my class would say like, oh, I love coming to your class because, you know, there's this flow. I went to this other teacher and there wasn't as much flow, and I have to remind them like, you know, you cannot flow all the time. Even though I also don't like to hold, but I don't want them to end up just doing what feels comfortable and nice, because that's not always what your yoga practice is going to be like. So sometimes I'll point them in the direction of different teachers that I feel I go to just to keep everything balanced in a sense. Yeah.
What?
And wow, it just like I have to admit, like I really loved all the vinyasa flow style classes that I was able to teach in home
Freely, right?
freely. And having everyone just kind of so familiar with your cues and your sequence that almost the entire thing can become a dance. And it can get a little bit addictive to find, you know, teaching a class so easy, you know, having this situation where everybody understands your cues, everybody knows where you're gonna go. But I think after, you know, 2.5 years of teaching in this style, honestly, like if I dig really deep down, I know that there is a part of me that is slowly losing that ability to be able to hold space for a newbie.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I think when I realized that, it was a very humbling discovery. It was a very humbling moment, because you are a yoga teacher, you are not just a vinyasa teacher, you know. And my trainees will know this, like they will say, oh, it's a vinyasa yoga training, so do I need to teach like
Vinyasa.
my exam be a vinyasa class? And I always tell them like, if I had my own way, I would remove the vinyasa from there and it's just a yoga teacher training,
yes.
which honestly is what Wendy always says, because people will always ask her, oh, yoga sis training is hatha or vinyasa? And she will just, it's just yoga, you know. And I think when I had that realization, like there's that little bit of guilt, like, oh, there is this person in my class and oh, she's not really following along. I want to go over and help her, but the fact remains is that I know if I can't really be in two places at once sometimes. So I have to be able to let go of the vinyasa. I have to be able to let go of, like, you know, we don't have to keep going non-stop. We can stop and we can breathe here and let everyone catch up. So I think when I had that discovery, it was maybe around the middle of my second teacher training when I was there, because I noticed that my trainees were so used to teaching like vinyasa style classes, and the feedback that we were sharing each week about the classes that they attend, I noticed it was starting to skew in one direction, where everyone was saying like, oh, what is the ability to lead a vinyasa class? But there's this meme going around also. I think Wendy posted it and I replied. I said, oh no, this is me. Like it was I think it was this scene between Victoria Beckham and David Beckham or something, like where he says like, be honest or something, and the caption was, oh, vinyasa is teaching a vinyasa class is about moving with the breath. And then David Beckham says like, be honest, and then after that Victoria Beckham says like, oh yeah, it's actually I sequenced something that would make them completely forget about the breath. So then then when I saw that, I was like, oh no, this is actually sometimes me. So when I had that discovery and when I noticed which direction it was skewing in, I really had to draw myself back and set the ego aside and really be okay with, you know, teaching a vinyasa class that is just not all flow. And a part of me knew if I continue in this way with students who reaffirm it and say like, oh, I love your class because you just flow and you don't stop, and at the end of the class they tell me like, oh, that was a solid workout, thanks, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's a compliment, you know. So I knew deep down like, wow, if I continue this way, I'm not sure I will like the teacher that I am becoming.
Interesting.
I
think that's why also some of the the more senior teachers end up going back to basics, going back to like hatha roots, because it's slow and it's breath centric, which is essentially what yoga is. If they tell you like, oh, it's a great workout, like, oh shit, did you just teach a HIIT class? You know, I'm sure they didn't mean it in that way, but like it's also like when you contemplate about that, then like you get a bit of an identity crisis, because how you teach and who you are when you deliver that class, it's also a part of you, ma. So then, like, you need to honor that aspect of you when you deliver and when you teach and when you share. Because it has to come from that space, ma. I wanted to ask you, what is your relationship with yoga now? You mentioned just now about how you don't want, what do you say at the start? Then that made me think of this question. Something about you didn't want your students to rely, you didn't want to not be able to teach beginners anymore, something like that, right? Because you felt that you were moving away from that.
Yeah, I start to lose the ability to hold space for the newbies. Yeah.
What's your relationship with yoga now?
I feel like it's moving in a self-practice direction. Yeah, and occasionally, of course, I do still want to go back to the studio and learn from, teachers and all. But I feel like I have been quite overstimulated after teaching in a studio environment for 8 years. Yeah. So I kind of want to take a step back and practice outdoors, man. Yeah, but that's just my relationship with asana at this point. Yeah, and it felt like after a while I was kind of putting my relationship with teaching ahead of my relationship with yoga. I don't think that they are separate, but when you teach full time and you teach 6 days a week, everyone's been through that. Yeah, and then me moving through the management track in both studios as well was, very eye-opening. And it's either putting teaching ahead of your practice or the other teachers and their well-being, or the studio and its well-being before your relationship with yoga. So part of the reason why I wanted to take a break was to take that break from teaching.
As
and
with
it's
all
not
things,
so people were like, oh, are you gonna become a swim coach now, like are you taking a break from yoga? And I said, no, I'm just taking a break from teaching yoga. Like I want to just like go back to experiencing it myself, outdoors on my own with a lot of space around me, like how I fell in love with it in the first place. I really, really miss that. And I had a glimpse of it last weekend when I taught my outdoor event at Wheelers Tropicana. The best thing about that grass was it was artificial grass, so it was so level. That was the best part. But that was also the first time, like that was the longest I had gone without teaching.
Which is how long? 3 weeks?
1.5 months.
Huh?
Yeah, 1.5 months. Because my last day with home was 7 Feb. And then I didn't I think I covered for yoga seats at the end of February, but it was about 1.5 months.
Wow.
After that the whole of March I didn't teach yoga. And then
then it's such an event, But
so
it comes back very easily.
It does, thankfully. Oh my god, thankfully it comes back. Like I've had it worse before, when I was teaching 20 classes a week, then go holiday 3 days, come back suddenly like hello everybody.
My longest was 3 months. Come back, I was like
I don't know, man.
I thought very slow class. Very, very slow.
I was afraid the vocabulary will all like disappear, but so I didn't teach yoga for 1.5 months, but I was teaching swimming in between. And
it translates in some sense, no man?
No. because now when I teach swimming, it's to like kids.
Also you shout at them.
Yeah, I shout because they are also shouting.
To get their attention.
I never appreciated how in a yoga class when you give an instruction, most of the time people listen. But in the pool with the kids, when I just say stand against the wall, it can turn into like a 5-minute exercise, just getting them stand against the wall. So it's a totally different skill set to teach kids and to teach like swimming. And it was also very humbling because in the process of planning the class, I asked so many questions that I think last time my trainees have asked me before. I asked my coach questions like, how long is this segment supposed to take? How many times? What kind of warm-up do they need to do? And then I was like, oh my god, I feel like I can really empathize with my teacher trainees now. It felt different for me because as an adult, you don't really go for a lot of learn to swim classes, so I didn't really have that that live experience to pick up from. Whereas as an adult, you go for yoga classes, you can hear how the teacher teaches, so it's a little bit easier to pick it up. That's what I think. Yeah, but it was definitely an experience. But it was so nice. Yeah, back to the event that I taught at Wheelers Tropicana. It was so it was just nice being out in the open again and being able to say reach your arms up to the sky instead of to the ceiling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I forgot how much I love teaching outdoor events. Like I haven't done it since COVID.
Remember the boat thing with me and Liz?
Yes,
That was a nice one.
Yes, that was a fun
nice
one. Waking up at 6 a.m. going to like a morning dance party on the boat.
Boat thing.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, and then
I look at photos of that. I'm fucking skinny last time. Like that shirt doesn't fit me anymore. So funny.
you gotta cut it into a muscle thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did so many outdoor events for YM last time also, like People's Park Complex or like the road in Chinatown
yeah.
one.
The random events.
Yeah,
I
it
heard.
just has a different energy.
You also started teaching, like when you started teaching TTs, and this was during your time at home, right?
This
Home was your
during-
first TT.
Home was my first solo-led TT,
Yeah,
but when
solo-led
I was in
TT.
YM, I did like a few
The
modules
co-led,
here
right?
and there, yeah.
And how was that?
The solo-led TT.
Yeah lah. When when you first did it,
Yeah.
and then like we were all very excited for you, and then
Yeah.
you had the book and all that. And then outside, you were showing
Yeah.
me the drafts, and
Yeah.
Angeline was helping you with the design.
She
and all
drew,
that.
she drew the little
And then like now got
asanas.
version 2, version 3 already, right?
Yeah,
It all looks
yeah.
it's so like we can see the first draft, and now it's like fifth draft or third draft or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like it's nice to see that kind of progression, and then having being able to host it at home and like the first batch and all that. Now it's third batch, right? Is it? What was the recent one? Third or fourth?
The recent one was second lah.
Second one, man?
Yeah.
I thought you got like 3.
That was supposed to happen this year, but
Oh.
we had to cancel.
But okay, so like say 2 already, and then actually if it's 2, right, it's
Yeah.
actually quite a lot of things have changed already.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like
So it was literally just I wanted to teach at home for 1 year before I taught my first TT. So I joined in like September 2021, and then I taught my first TT in October 2022, like
1 year
exactly
ago.
1 year after. Yeah. So then October just always became my slot. Yeah. And then this year I was supposed to do a full-time one in like April, May, like that, and then the usual part-time one in October again.
so twice a week, twice a year.
Twice a year, yeah.
Can
Like when I was in YM, we had 4 intakes a year, and there was 1 year we tried 5, but there was so many overlaps.
Yeah, that's
like
a
we need
lot,
Amy to
eh.
do anatomy here, and then oh no, but she's doing anatomy somewhere else, so we have to. There was a lot of planning involved, but yeah, I think usually they do like 4 a year, and I enjoyed like having multiple intakes in a year. But when I tried leading it on my own for 1 year,
yeah.
I mean, I've only done it twice, but both times after the TT ended, I fall sick for 2 weeks at least each time.
And this
I got
part-time,
COVID both times.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this part time with
So imagine
management
full-time.
responsibilities
Yeah.
and like and my normal like class load. Yeah, but I can't imagine how. I'm actually secretly glad the full-time one didn't happen, because I don't know how I would have survived that. Yeah. But to do the full-time one, I would have like not had to. I cannot teach any normal classes during that period. I
just
think
1 month of just
1 month of
immersive,
just TT. Yeah.
It's tiring for you and it's tiring for the students.
But I mean,
also.
you've done a full-time TT before, like
Twice.
and it's so the feedback that I've heard from people is that it's very immersive.
I love it.
Yeah, like you
I
are
like
so
to do
much
this kind of,
closer
like-
to everyone.
Yeah, I like to do this kind of like, I don't like those, I see on weekend, that kind of thing. Like you forget everything by Monday to Friday. Life gets in the
Right,
way.
right.
And when the moment you have to go out, go back to work, and then Saturday, Sunday come back, right?
Yeah.
You've broken out of that space already. But if you are like live, eat, sleep, every day you see the same
Yeah.
people Monday to Friday
Yeah.
until like 4 weeks later, right? It's very immersive. You get the hang of like, it's very, this is what she said yesterday already, so I remember today already. But the downside is also like there's not a lot of time to digest. You can get fatigued because you're
Right,
practicing every day if you're not used to
so
that every
tiring,
morning.
yeah.
But I like this kind of thing. Yeah.
It's so funny. I've never done something like that.
Your first one not full time.
No. I've always done part-time because I never wanted to take like a month off work to do this.
Not a lot of people can. That's the
Yeah,
thing. Also.
so not a lot of
Yeah.
people can. But if you're in that space where you can, right, I absolutely think it would be such a nice experience.
Yeah.
But
realistically lah,
Yeah,
Singapore.
yeah. But the takeaway I had from doing a part-time teacher training was during the week I get to see like how this perspective can impact my daily life. So it's not just, it can be easy if you're, let's say, in the mountains, everywhere around you is just nature. You don't really need to deal with like the things that you usually do, like what do I need to cook when I go home, what chores do I need to take care of, my dependents like my cats or my husband or my mom. You don't really need to think about any of that. It's so easy to just be fully immersed. I mean,
Yeah,
physically
you
it's
don't have to do it,
tiring
yeah.
and you'll be overwhelmed, yes, but there's
You're
no
dialed in.
distractions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you're
dialed in.
really dialed in. And the challenge with doing a part-time one is that you get to see what it will be like if everything is really woven in and integrated into your daily life, which is what we want to do with yoga anyway.
Yeah.
As much as many people use it as an escape, we want it to be something that is so easy to just weave into our daily lives.
There is a intention. There's an intention
Yeah.
behind like having time to digest, and then you step out into the real world and like, hey, wait a minute, this person's like, oh, fucking
Yeah.
first limb, second limb, that kind of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
And I really like that. I really liked giving my trainees homework. I'm so sorry if they are listening to this, but so rude.
Good
I
lah.
loved giving them homework, and the homework was also homework that I did during my own TT. It was like your self practice at home.
Just being mindful lah. Watching
Being mindful.
certain
No, I
things.
will really give them like every week one time pranayama, one time asana practice, and then write down what you did, write down what you learned from it, and then there will be some reflection in the journal that is for them to do as well. But I met with one of them recently and she said, wow, thankfully you gave us this homework during TT because now she has a self-practice. Like it cultivated a self-practice for her. She found something that works for her.
Right.
Yeah, and I always found that was one of my favorite parts of the TT because it was kind of like it encouraged that self-study.
How did they find you? There are some are regulars, some are from Meiyan.
The first TT, I think half of them were from YM, and the other half were a mixture of
Just random
home.
people.
Yeah, maybe I had 1 or 2 home regulars who had done my classes, but not a lot of them. In fact, I think one of them had never practiced with me before and just bravely signed
funny.
up. Yeah, and then I had 2 of those kinds of people in my second TT. Yeah, in my second TT. Never practiced with me before and still came.
Okay.
But I mean, they did receive like recommendations from people they knew, but they didn't come for a class with me first.
That I would test the car before I buy the car.
But
like,
you never practiced with Barry before, you also go and do TT with him.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah. So sometimes there are some people who just,
true.
I just want to do a TT and it doesn't
yeah.
really matter who I am learning from. In a way, that's like a parigraha
That's
right
true.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Why didn't I didn't realize this. But I remember for Lee's one, I went for like 2 or
With
3
me,
classes.
you went with me for her candlelight in.
I went with Liz for the first ever class.
Yes,
then
yes,
another
yes.
one, and then her yin.
Right.
And then I did it. Yeah.
Yeah. And both batches, such an interesting thing. I had 11 women, both batches. Yeah.
That's your. I don't see a guy going to your. I mean, great if they do. Like not a bad thing, but I just feel like you hold the space that you hold is of that sort. Like it attracts that kind of crowd.
What are you talking about, man?
Hey, look at me.
You came to my class so many times. You don't want to learn from me. So rude.
That's true. I'm a yeah lah.
Yeah, but so I brought Brian in, my anatomy trainer, from my 300-hour TT, and he did like the anatomy modules both times lah. And the second training when we were tracking the stand-ups, he was like, why always got no tapor come for your training?
Then who was your model for second one?
Second one I just used him. Because the first one I used
First
you
one when
and
you
your
used me-
carrying angle was so wide.
My what?
Your carrying angle, remember he wanted me to have like a
thing or
male
male and female.
male model to see like the angle that your forearm leans away from your body.
Oh, so mine was
because
what?
men are supposed to be like
Wider.
straighter.
Oh, straighter.
Straighter, yeah.
Mine was-
but that's average. Like you remember Sylvia from the first batch also
Yeah.
her carrying angle was also
I don't
completely
remember
straight.
this.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
I-
yours was wider than mine. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just used him for the
Yeah, like
for
don't
the
need
second
a
one.
dedicated male model.
Don't need, yeah,
like,
but he just wanted to like, you know, have someone else
like,
that he can like.
because when I was there,
reference.
I didn't feel like I didn't play. I didn't need to do much.
He didn't contribute
Yeah, I didn't
anything.
contribute anything. I just sat there and listened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he actually said to me like he said you need you can't just survive on guest trainers. That's what he said. He said you need a team.
Oh.
Yeah, he told me you need a team.
So what does that mean? Like, so you
Like
him,
I need a faculty. He was essentially telling me like I need to end up like
assistants?
yeah, not really
But
assistants.
in what sense? Like PA or
No,
like guest
no,
teachers,
like guest-
dedicated like how Wendy has with.
Yes, essentially.
But you do what?
So when he said that to me, I thought he was kind of like, I thought that was his way of asking me to join yoga seats, and I was like, oh, are you asking me to join yoga seats? And he was like, oh, no lah, I think we have enough teachers. And I went to tell Wendy, and she was like, "Hiya, this Brian never tell me that you were expressing interest."
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really funny because I told him like after each intake I get so tired and so sick. And I mean, you know, we have heaps of teachers who are doing it on their own. Yeah, they can. But during it also they know how to kind of manage their own energy, you know, like give away some of their classes or something.
And somehow
or
like,
have people to come in to help.
those people like say Blair, Bo, Copper, all these people that they do everything right from the anatomy to the asana.
Yes, like
They-
NGO, Sita also they don't
Yeah,
bring in like guest trainers.
But they are the kind of people that can one, you know what I mean? They are the kind that
Yeah.
can like talk to everybody and
Yes,
like
yes.
ha, ha, he, he. They
Yeah.
don't feel like tired one. Wow.
Yes.
I like you or me, that kind. After class I
Yeah.
just hide. I just go behind the counter. I cannot already. Yeah.
Christ in introvert.
But I'm an extrovert. I don't know what the fuck is happening. You know?
I think it's a lie.
But I think it's no like I think yoga has really someone is that fruit
I
juice?
don't
You know it sounds like a fruit
Is
juice
it
machine. It's not like it's a drill lah, but it sounds like you know the fruit juice machine.
yes, it does.
I think when I ever since I started teaching yoga, that my capacity, my social capacity, or whatever you want to call that,
Has gone down.
it's just that just particularly teaching yoga drains me a lot in that sense. So like, say as an extrovert, I gain energy. What's the word? Like what's the
Recharge.
logic? Recharge. I recharge
by
talking to people.
Yeah.
But then if I go and teach and I'm talking to people already, but that drains me, then I come out, I don't want to talk to people anymore. So I'm always constantly drained. And then if I stop, then okay, I go back to base level. Then when I go meet my friends or what, I'm high again, then I go and teach. So sometimes, like say after I meet Edmund or after I meet you, then the next day I'll feel like, oh, I have a lot of things to share because my mind is like, I've had an outlet to ground my thoughts, right? Because I talk to someone. And then I go there with a bit more clarity. Then I can share, and I'm a bit more lighthearted, like ha ha ha, you know.
Yeah. Okay, you're definitely
Yeah.
an extrovert.
So if extrovert introvert is not like whether you are like the life of the party.
Yeah,
that
no.
kind.
I think it's how
more
you recharge.
how you receive that energy, ma. So a lot of people think like, hey, how come you extrovert, man? And I think that's the Cancer in me also, right? I'm the moon. The moon is Cancer, even though I'm a Leo. So like, which is like day and night there.
Yeah.
So I get that lah. And then like nowadays, the people that I meet, that know me now in recent times, they are always very like, how you extrovert lah? Like, but yeah lah, I am lah. And then after that, okay, they see it lah sometimes. Yeah lor.
Yeah, students don't believe me when I tell them I'm an introvert.
But you are. You were not. I also didn't believe you the first time
Yeah.
because you talk to everybody.
So many people don't
Yeah.
believe me. Yeah, they don't believe me until they really see what I am like.
So
like when they can observe me 24
Yeah.
hours in a day. Like if I travel with somebody, then it becomes more obvious. Yeah.
I was talking to Ray about this, and she also says like she was also very drained whenever she had to talk to people. But then when I see her interact with people, she's always like
so
like energetic. So of course that
enthusiastic,
people
yeah.
are gonna think like you are open to receive, ma. Then she will say like, oh, I'm very tired. I don't know why everybody keep talking to me. Not in a bad way, lah. Okay, I'm not talking shit, lah. But then I'm like, then I on the other hand, because I want to connect. Then I'm like, how about nobody talk to me? How about everybody after class they say hello, thanks to you? Nobody they say thanks to me, one. Then she's like, oh, because you always after class you go hide behind the counter, your sian face, like you very bad vibes, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm like, but
Nobody want to talk to you. Then every time, show up for work, wear all black.
But it's so
Nobody want to talk to you.
very rude. It's very, very rude. But it's funny. It's funny because like that's the duality. Like I want to connect, right? I want to connect, but then I don't have the capacity to. Or maybe my face very black. And then for her, she's, you know, like she's very kind, like very nice to people, and like, you also, if people talk to you, you talk to them. But for me, I was like, yeah. And then I walk away, and then I'm like, why nobody want to talk to me?
You're like, I'm gonna be a hermit and I'm gonna be Mr. Grumps sitting behind
Yeah.
the counter and then wonder how come nobody can talk to me.
I mean, when I talk to people, also end up fucking got drama all. So I just like,
You don't talk to people, I think you don't talk to people best.
that's the thing lah. But it's okay, like you know, enough time has passed, so like we can laugh about this.
Yeah.
And then like when I came back to home again, and then like when Mel had that call with me, and like when I knew what was happening lah, so she's like, hey, behave yourself when you come back. I was like, okay, I will. And I found it funny, but also was like then I was very I was very wary. Very wary, okay? Very wary. So whenever I went back, I was just like, okay. Because, okay, when I think back on all those, the people that have entered my life during that time, I never made a move. They made the move, you know what I mean? Like, whether it was, like Audrey messaged me, Estrina messaged me, all these people, they were the ones that reached out to me. I was just there. And then when like things escalated, then okay lah, like I get it. Also, takes two hands to clap, so I get it. But like I told you lah, like I was just being myself, right? Whatever that happened, I'm just being myself. If it happened, it's unfortunate, but then what am I supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to be a bit more closed? Am I supposed to be more unfriendly? So I guess that's the message I'm trying to, right? If I don't want the same thing to happen, then I have to change ma. So okay lor, every time after class, I just hide behind the counter. I don't talk to anybody.
Don't talk to anybody,
I
also
just
got problem.
build a giant wall, you know. But then you can't do that in yoga. You can't. You have to connect what. So I remember telling Edmund, like sharing this with Edmund, like say like, I don't want this to happen again, right? I'm done with that path. And then when I told him like, okay, I'm just gonna hide. I'm just gonna just do my thing, go teach, done with class, zao. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Because I was afraid lah, you know, in a way. I was afraid ma. Then he's like, this doesn't sit well with me. This doesn't make sense. I don't think this is the lesson to be learned here. Then I was like, then how? Like, what do you want me to do? Because if I be myself, then the drama happens, what? So then I can't remember what he said exactly, but he said like, I can't remember what the lesson was, but here's my interpretation of that lesson after we had that conversation, was that instead of building the wall, I just allow myself to stay open, right? So I'm open. If people want to talk to me, they can talk to me, but I don't initiate.
Yeah, I remember this conversation.
Yeah, so I like to sit behind the counter, right, as I always do. But when people come out, I'll smile and I'll say hi or nod lah. And if you want to talk to me, you have to go through this barrier of going into my comfort zone, going behind the counter, like, hey, then you wave to me or what, I'll always go to you. I always talk to you. So that's the rule lor, like I have. And it might not be the best rule, but at least it works for me, and it makes me feel a bit comfortable to like, okay, if you really want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. I'm not being standoffish, but like I also know that like this kind of thing can happen, and I don't want that to happen anymore. So that's the rule lor. And if you're brave enough to cross that boundary, then not cross the boundary, cross the bridge to meet me, and I'll meet you there lah. So that's the rule lor. Right? Don't shit where you eat lah. Fuck.
I would just like to take this moment to point out that this friendship was birthed from you crossing the bridge to come and talk to your teacher and all.
So exactly. So this is how it is, right?
Yeah.
Whatever I did with you was the same thing I did with everybody. It just so happens that one thing led to another for whatever reason. So remember the first time I met you, like, hey, what song is this? And they're like, hey, you want to go to my house play board game? Done. That was
so
and that was
funny,
easy. And like for me, I just wanted to connect.
Yeah.
Like anybody else, I just wanted to connect. I wanted to make friends. And like say most of the people, it started out as friends. Like I never wanted anything more. And I think it was because something happened in their space where like things were rocky.
Right.
And then
they
like,
reached out lah.
Yeah, and then when you reach out, like I'm also not I'm not a saint lah, right? But this is a long time ago, and I've learned the lesson, and karma is a great teacher. So it is what it is. I take what I can learn. I'm much lighter now, you know, like that kind of weight doesn't weigh me down anymore. Yeah. Because like, how long you want to keep doing this, you know? And I'm at a point where like I want something a bit more constant, right? I guess I've reached that point. Previously, I never wanted to settle down. I never wanted to, like, even my friends also keep asking me like, hey, how come I've known you for so long? How come you never post any pictures of, like, you never be, you know, not with anybody, like so long already. It's like, I don't know, like I've seen them all like break up, go together, break up, but I'm always still like wandering around, floating around. I like that, man. I like that life. It served me for a long time until it doesn't. All then you gotta change what? Yep.
Then what do you feel your relationship with yoga is now?
It has changed for sure. I don't know whether I've shared this with you before. Maybe I have.
I remember
glimpses.
how challenging it was for you to somewhat come back to teach at home, where you know, like your relationship with yoga has been somewhat tainted by all of these
I mean, like,
less than pleasant experiences, and like my relationship with teaching yoga has changed, and with yoga itself has changed. And I know now, like in terms of physical practice, you go to the gym more, right? Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of things to unpack. 3 things,
Yeah.
gymming, my relationship with yoga, and experience at home. Try and remember this.
Okay. We should write it down.
Just try and remember. Okay, relationship with yoga.
Yoga, gymming, home.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'll start with yoga. My relationship with yoga has changed because previously, yoga has been a very healing thing for me. I don't go there to work out or sweat. My practice is very chill one. I use blocks. I take option 1. I never take option 3 one. I go there and chill. I go there and heal. I go there and stretch. So it's as much of a physical unwinding as much as it is a mental kind of like just grounding, because my mind is all over the place. So it helps me to ground because of the flow, right? I lose myself in the flow. And you know, when I found yoga, Lee, all these teachers, right? Lee is a very powerful teacher, and she's a very, like, she resonated with me because of her not principles, like the style that she teaches is the style that she advocates. It's very, you have the power, do what you want, freedom. Okay, freedom. Oh, I resonate with that. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, if you need that, great. But for me in particular, this Vata boy, right, all over the place. Freedom means a lack of direction. I don't need more choices. I need one choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Ashtanga helped a lot.
Yes.
Fixed sequence, right? You felt that I was a bit more grounded back then.
Yeah.
So anyway, point being is that yoga became a very like, do what you want to do. Even my teaching style, so like, you want to move, I was very sweeping, just do what you want, because I advocated that. But also, as I evolve and as I grow and as I change, I realize that like, I don't like, like it was a very do what you want to do, love yourself, blah blah blah. Loving myself meant that I was allowing myself to get away with everything that I've done, right? Because I love myself, so I want to do this, right?
Wow, it's a dangerous path to go down.
It's a dangerous path, but it's also, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But hating myself called me out on those things, right? Like fuck are you doing? You know, that kind of thing. How dare you do this? Which I didn't want to tell myself that.
Yeah. And
when you, I'm using very heavy words, but if you quote unquote hate yourself, right, it forces you to change, right? If you like, loving yourself means that you eat McDonald's every day, because you love yourself. What? Oh, I love McDonald's, so I eat it every day. Hating yourself gets you to the gym. You see the dynamic?
Wow. So
my relationship with yoga shifted in that sense, because I felt like it's not serving me. It serves a purpose, but it doesn't serve me at this point anymore. I don't need to be told, you know, it's okay. You know, you're exactly where you need to be. Let
Henry
time.
hates this phrase.
But for me, I needed someone to like fuck you, like get your shit together.
Yeah.
So I move on to gym. When I popped my ACL, that's how I ended up going to gym, rehab a bit, and like, okay, I'll just sign up for a gym. I popped it because I was too flimsy, my body very brittle, and which came from the practice, ma. So going to gym meant I was strengthening it and all that, and then the more you do anything, you start to get immersed in that culture. You meet friends, it's a part of your routine, and you can see your body growing. And of course, my whole life with not having a very strong male role model in my life, not close to my dad, hang around with all the yogis, all the females, right?
Yeah.
Having the boys at the gym means that everybody there is my brother, everybody there is my father, right? So when I go there and I work out like Monday to Friday. When you are working out, like say you go for BFT or you back then when you were doing personal training, you need a certain rage, let's call it that, or you need a certain level. You need to be at a certain space to push yourself, ma. You can't be all rainbows and sunshines and like ha ha ha.
Yeah,
That kind of vibe is more yogic, right? Stoic, calm. But in the gym, you need to grind, you need to push, you need to rage. And when back when I was doing jiu-jitsu also, I felt that. And I was like, oh, there's a nice balance, masculine and feminine. Because I was naturally very feminine already.
Okay.
And then like the fighting was like, oh, this is nice. I felt more calmer, ma. The gymming also, it's similar in a sense because you're fighting yourself. At any point you can just pick up the 2 kg and lift it, like whatever. But if you have to do something heavier, you have to push yourself. It's up to you to push yourself. And you don't want to, ma, because you want to be comfortable. So you have to fight your own mind, in a sense. So like anything, you don't want to do it, you go and you fight. You go to the gym to get angry. Or at least when I first started at the gym, I was just listening to my podcast and like lifting weights. Afterwards, I had to change to all the raging music to get myself in that space. And I liked it because I'm never angry. I'm rarely angry. I don't lose my temper. What? Have you ever seen me lose my temper? I don't, ma. I don't throw table. I don't lose my temper. I'm pretty cool. But I think also why I don't is because I suppress it, or I don't allow myself to be angry for whatever reason, the childhood or whatever. Don't dive into it. So if I allowed myself to be angry, but with in a healthy way, because everything can be expressed in a healthy and unhealthy way, right? If I express my anger, my rage in a healthy way, it grants me a better body because I'm pushing myself, right? It allows me to be a bit more disciplined. It allows me to push, to go, to not give up. The gym has taught me a lot of things and a lot of lessons that I needed to learn at this particular point in my life, versus trust, do what you want to do kind of thing.
Have you been in a yoga class before where you find this headspace?
Sometimes, but rarely, because it's not in the nature of yoga to be like, hold, come on, do 10 more, that kind of thing. But at the gym, when you're at the last rep, you have to push already, what? And everybody is like, say if you have a spotter, your friend will be like, go. It's a go kind of mentality, ma. It's not a trust. You go in yoga, you're going to break something, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a different world.
Yeah.
And you need both, because as much as if you gym every day, you're going to get tight. If you yoga every day, you're not going to have strength. So it's ultimately a balance of everything, ma. So I go to the gym every day, I kill myself to be reborn. No? The act of going there, and it's hard, right? You're fighting. And then you feel sore at the end of the day. You go home, next day you recover, you relax, you sleep and all that. And then next day you start and you look in the mirror like, hey, this looks a bit bigger. Which is nice, you see that progression. Yeah. But you have to, because even the act of building muscle is to break the previous muscle first. So I needed that. And maybe intuitively as a man also, like, it taught me a lot of lessons. And then I hang around with the kind of guys where like, they're guys, you know. You know how guys talk lah. They don't fluff around. They don't like, girl, you look great in that dress. Oh, it's okay. It's not. You know, guys are like, hey, fuck you. Like, can you go push more? Like, you weak shit. You know, like guys talk like that. And we can take it lah, because it's just busting balls ma, right? It's just guys being guys. But it's so different. You think of like the dynamics of male and female.
It's so strange because the direction of your journey has somewhat been like opposite to mine.
Because you're naturally more masculine also.
No. So the things that I started with, the things that I started with last time were all this like push, why you so slow?
And your father
faster,
is a good man.
Masculine,
He's a good man.
Yeah. So I always felt like I had a lot more masculine energy, such that when I found yoga, it kind of like helped me stop being so angsty.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook has this like 10 years ago what you did, what you said, and I look at what I posted and I was like, oh my god, I was such an angry person, you know, like
What do you post?
Like just very angsty stuff.
I mean, all teenagers post some angsty shit lah.
I guess so, but I mean, other than the fact that my Chinese character already got like 2 huo inside, so I'm already like a very fiery person, always fighting with my mom lah, my dad, and so then when I found yoga, it was like someone told me like, go at your own pace, and I was like, really? I can do that? Yeah. And I'm so annoyed with myself, but I used to be the person who's like, 60 minutes on a mat, like I might as well go and run for 60 minutes, you know. That was my impression. But then I tried it, and then man, I fell in love with it, because it feels like a balance for everything. But even through that, you know, we will find what we need, in a sense. But I found that, you know, when I was drawn to the teachers that, you know, give us a little bit more space, a little bit more compassion, at a point where we really need it, it is such a beautiful reminder. But I think the danger is when we keep listening to it, and we take it to mean that, you know, we can stay still and not do anything, and then, you know, things will be as they are. You are where you need to be. You know, this can be unpacked in so many different ways, because I'm afraid that sometimes, you know, due to the languaging of a lot of yoga teachers, we kind of encourage people to, you know, like it's okay to just be kind to yourself, and then that means that you never push yourself. But there is a little bit of space to be uncomfortable in your yoga practice for it to grow.
But you see how someone who is like those words, if you are in a very like in a rut, and then someone comes to you and says, it's okay, you're exactly where you need to be,
you're like,
that's
okay,
true,
really?
okay.
And then
and then that's why everybody's stuck. That's why you notice, right, after COVID, when everything was like, people sort of left yoga a bit. The yoga, the scene of yoga sort of died off, and then BFT, F45
I feel like
started
now
to rise.
It's still in that phase, you know. Because so many yoga studios are combining with like other gyms.
It's
to
unfortunate.
do things.
I mean, it's just the way the world is. Last time, everybody fucking joined yoga. It was so popular, and it was. Because the world was different, and then now, because like people are like stuck, like they experienced COVID, everybody's stuck at home, stuck at the job, can't travel, and then someone tells you, fucking, hey, it's okay that you're here, you just be where you want to be. Fuck that, like people are something is off already. But yoga still serves a purpose. I'm glad that I learned what I needed to learn, so that when I go to the gym, I have that balance of feminine and masculine. Versus like, say for you, when you had that fire, and then you came into yoga, and then like then the person said like, okay, just close your eyes and chill for a bit, and it resonated with you because you needed that lesson. So the lesson is not right or wrong. It's just what you needed at that time. So it's not like, oh, yoga sucks or gym sucks. It's just what you needed at that time. So you must have an understanding of yourself to know. And that's also what yoga taught me, right? So the awareness and the mindfulness that I learned from that practice translated to everything and who I am today, which then it reached a point where like, oh, I feel like yoga isn't serving me the way that I need to anymore. Or at least the asana side of things. Or rather, I still practice. I'm still as mindful as I can be, and I try my best to live that life. But I don't practice as often. It is
Okay.
what it is, you
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm sure I'll go back into it at some point. It's still gonna be a part of our lives, right? You know, we are still yogis at heart.
Yeah.
But you know, we allow ourselves to do other things because we are humans, or we're complex. We have different layers and we evolve when we Number three.
Number three.
Number three. So I talked about my relationship with yoga. I talked about how that led me to the gym. And then going back to teaching, number three, which is home. The relationship with yoga already shifted. So then when I went back also, I felt like, how was I going to teach from that space? And also, just because of all the drama that happened before, I just kept bumping into people that I didn't want to bump into. And yoga was supposed to be a safe space. And then like, whether it was like colleagues talking shit about me or just bumping into exes, and then like Ray come and teach us. So then like, but it was like I got over it lah, because just gotta let that go already, right? It's in the past. Ray's a great teacher. I'm glad that she's here. We wanted to pull her here a long time ago already.
Yeah.
And whatever that is between me and her, it's also me, it's nothing to do with home. So I don't fault them for it. And she's very popular now, and like me and her, we sort of things out. So
I'm
it's
so
fine.
glad, man.
Yeah, I'm glad also lah. But then like back then I was just like, man, I can't get away from this. I'm trying to move away. I'm trying to move forward, but I keep going backwards. Keep going back. Like I left home, then go back home. You know that thing. So, and then when I left home, when I left teaching in general, I left all my friends in a sense, because when you are a teacher, all your friends are teachers, students. Like you are in that world, ma. You can only, who else can you meet as a yoga teacher at 3 on a Tuesday, aside from another yoga teacher, or is that kind of. So like all my friends left. People are busy, and I'm also at the age where like people have kids, people are married, they got their own life already, they don't have time to hang out with me, ma. So fair enough. So I just learned to be alone, learn to be my own best company, my own best friend, which I think is important.
It is.
And also just like, because once you are able to, like I was watching this some video, what's it, School of Life, that kind, those videos. There's what's it called? It's the hedgehog theory or something, where let's say hedgehogs, like the Sonic the Hedgehog, they're porcupine. Let's say call it a porcupine,
Right.
where they're spiky, right?
Yeah.
If they are cold, they huddle together to get warmth. But then when they huddle together, they poke each other, so they are suffering. But if you don't huddle together, you're out in the cold by yourself. You're also suffering from the cold. So there's two kinds of suffering. You suffer in the company of others, or you suffer alone, right? So same with a relationship. If you're in a relationship, doesn't mean it's all sunshines and rainbows.
Yeah.
You still have to have conflict. You still might not be happy. You're still suffering. The pain of loneliness also is a struggle, right? So then how do you overcome that? You either choose which pain you want to deal with, which is the easier pain to deal with. If you're okay with dealing with suffering with someone else, great. If you're easier to suffer alone, great. Oftentimes it's easier to suffer with someone else, right? As a couple, as a right? That's why people are in toxic relationships. It's not fun to suffer alone, but the remedy for this is, what was the lesson? It was to be okay with oh no, I had the lesson. I forgot what was the moral of this story. The ultimate lesson was to...
Was it something about suffering with others?
No, so you suffer... Put a pin on this. I'll go and look at the video again.
The hedgehog story.
At the end of the podcast, I'll tell the story. Yeah, but there's something to do with like learn how to suffer alone. Yeah, so you are okay with the cold, that kind of thing, or something like that. I'm butchering it. So I was trying to instill that in me, because once you are able to do that, right? Like you are almost invincible because you don't need to rely on anybody. don't need to, and you're not afraid of the cold already. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to do that. But then you isolate yourself also because just the nature of it, ma. But then at least I found some community at the gym. I still have my community at yoga, like, people like you. Like, and I'm also moving, so I have my community there. Yeah, man. How many of your TT students listened to the previous podcast? Any of them?
We had a bunch who found out about my TT because they listened to our episode, I can't remember who now. But
every TT, Bo, Lee,
yeah.
NGO, Amber.
You say, actually,
you.
I heard,
I need to get commission kinda. Like in Lee's, like, second, third batch, all of them listen on it. And some of them is because they heard it and they joined. So I was like,
Wow.
You don't know who's listening, really.
You really don't.
You really don't know who's listening. But also no one's listening because it's just you and me and Roku in this room. No one's listening.
I can't believe the other two haven't woken up.
Huh?
They are usually more lively at this time.
But it's so strange. Like I never really spoke to any of your TT people. I try not to. I mean, not.
Have you not? I mean, some were your. Sylvia was your friend.
Sylvia was a friend, but I
Yeah.
don't really talk to her. And one of them came up to me. She's my friend's cousin. What's her name? Can't remember. White glasses. Second batch, I think.
Second batch.
White glasses.
I feel like I know this. Her cousin is your friend. Is it Vian?
No. For Michelle? Is that a Michelle?
I don't think so.
If you tell me the name, maybe I might know. Or maybe I will also. Oh my god. Yeah.
Cousin is your friend.
Yeah, I mean, like, a small world, right? Singapore is small, and then, like, a friend here, a friend there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, I also, of all the episodes to listen to, you all go and listen to the Meiyan's one. When I'm at my most, like, vulnerable, that kind of. But it's like a little checkpoint, no? Like, I hear how I was back then.
Yeah.
And then, like now, at
Really,
least.
I don't want to go and listen. I don't want to go and listen.
You know, the time when I go and talk to your sister.
She told me she heard our episode.
She was like
before.
playing it while I went to the house. Like, I'm listening to it. I was like, oh my god, lucky it's not at the part. Aiyo. Yeah, but like it's also like it's vulnerable when you know that people have heard that.
Yeah.
Like the Mel's one also, like
Yeah,
man. But also like in a way nobody cares lah, It's just okay, we heard it, but to me I feel like no, you've seen that side of me, but then
But you'll be surprised like
real
how
life, nobody really bothers about it.
No,
yeah.
but sometimes it kind of opens up little avenues of connection with people who otherwise would not have dared to talk to you about something.
That's true.
Yeah,
But also nobody talked to me about it. nobody talked to me.
Nobody talk to you.
Nobody talked to me on it.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I think it's just my vibe lah. I got a very heavy vibe. I went to the fortune teller recently. Did I tell you this?
No, you didn't.
I went like
Where is this fortune teller?
it's at Juchat near Roxy Square.
Okay.
Then
What did you ask?
I asked about like my path lah, like on my
Okay.
going on my journey and everything. He
Yeah.
he gave a good blessing, but he also said that like your energy your energy is very dark, and a lot of people have told me this.
Oh no, I didn't mean what I said when you entered my house just now. It was just a reference to
You're very
everything
very rude. Okay, you're really
Aaron came into my house and I was like, oh my, I just feel like this dark cloud of energy just entered my
everything.
house.
Hey, what?
Yeah, but it was because his shirt, his shorts, his bag, his phone, his watch, his laptop, his freaking bicycle, everything
my
is
slipper,
black.
everything.
Like you didn't even. I feel like you dressed this way today just to show disrespect.
No, this is just I just close my eyes and pick something from the wardrobe. It's
No,
this
you are
color.
literally like, other than Roku, you are the only black thing in my house now.
That's true. That is
There's
true.
No black anywhere.
That is actually true.
Yeah, there's nothing.
What's this?
There's nothing. You see, you are trying to find it. You're not gonna find it other than Roku.
There's nothing that is like specifically black, aside from like
Yeah.
something that has to be black,
Yeah,
like say
yeah.
like the contours or the wire or whatever. But
Yeah.
nothing is actually black.
Yeah, my fans are also not
Very
black.
bright.
My floor is
my
not
eye
black.
pain 好亮啊.
You can close your eyes.
At least that will bring me comfort in that darkness.
Oh my god, that's very rude.
Yeah, but the guy said like my energy is very dark, and it might be because of my karma catching up with me. Oh, not karma, like my past.
Right.
Not my particular karma, but my ancestors' karma. Like everything from the past in my lineage is like weighing me down because of, like my father and all that kind of thing, right? So that kind of thing.
Right.
So like as I get older, so it's being revealed to me a bit more. That's why he sort of told me.
People tell you this.
No, that's
Like
that the fortune teller told me this
Yes,
in
yes.
specific, but also people have said like Ray and all those people that know me, right? Even you also, like you've mentioned before.
I know.
Right, then we argue.
I already kneel down and apologized already. What more do you want me to do?
But it's true. Like it just so happens that I have a very particular heavy energy. Maybe it's the weight of the world, or maybe it's just.
But you feel much lighter now, you know.
I feel much lighter,
You feel
of
much lighter now, but I
course.
think it will also help you
Because I'm
to
letting-
dress in
I'm-
like brighter colors as well.
That's what the guy said as well.
Yeah,
He
you
said,
remember that day when-
变成彩黑的。
That's oh my god! I should go and collab with this fortune teller. You remember that day I ran into you by accident at OC and you were wearing this beautiful blue sleeveless
yeah.
thing? You should wear that all the time. Like I think it will really change how you feel, you know.
I mean, when I wore, I have a feel of that because it's on discount. Like, the black color don't have really, so yeah, a bit blue. It's safer. But when I wear it, I do feel like, who's this?
Oh my god, why am I also wearing a black
yeah,
top
like,
today?
what is, like, it looks so different, but okay, nice, like different.
Yeah.
Yeah, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not being like biased to you, okay? I treat everybody in my life like this. Like that time I think Lululemon had the We Love You Man discount, remember? Like 40% for like your male friends or relatives. I brought my brother to use the discount and I said you can only use the discount on items that are not
cannot
black.
buy He
And
don't.
he was like, that's terrible. But he's not as bad as you.
he's not as bad
He's not
lah.
as bad as you, but I was just like I just didn't want to waste the discount on something
yeah.
black. But yeah, I mean the heavy energy thing, like I noticed it only when we talk about certain topics.
And
And
in
it was
particular that path lah.
Yes, it was in particular that path that like that because I had experienced it before, it was painful for me to hear about
and that's
it.
why it's hard for you to be my friend also when I'm out there doing this kind of shenanigans. So I get it.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, I mean, I'm glad I was honest, even though we ended up having a fight.
We didn't have a fight lah. It wasn't a fight.
It wasn't a fight.
It was
You
more of like,
adjusted on your own, and then I was like, how come you
because
become a
sh-
robot?
You told no, it wasn't that. Like, so when that happened, which was a long time ago, during the Audrey's time, and when I shared that with you, and then you told me what you told me, you were being honest, which I appreciate, and we should always be honest with each other.
agree.
Okay, so that's how we grow, ma.
Yeah.
So when that happened, what my reflection was that, oh fuck, like me being myself is making Meiyan uncomfortable, which I don't like, ma.
Oh man,
You know what I mean?
I'm
But
so
it's-
sad that that's the story that came out from that leh.
But it's true because like I stood by my path. Like I was like, this is
Yeah.
how I have to live my life, ma.
Yeah.
If it keeps coming, or this is what I'm comfortable with, this is how I want to live, ma. But then and then with your experiences also, then you like, of course you like, oh fuck, like I can't let my friend do this kind of thing, ma. So you shared what you shared with me in a very honest way. It wasn't like you weren't scolding me or anything. You just felt like, oh, I don't like this, right? You just said I don't like this about you. And then fast forward to when I went back to home, right?
And then it was the repeating of that story, like, oh, you
Yeah,
cannot
because
authentically
so
be
I
yourself.
have to change, ma. So,
Yeah.
I
So become robot.
I become a robot. I don't talk to anybody, because I
You're
thought
such an overcorrector.
because that was the like I wanted to like I was being like I needed to take drastic measures, so I needed to do something different in order to not fall back into old patterns. That was my plan. But so like okay lor, best case, all right. If I don't want to get any involvement with any students,
Turn
then I
into a
just
real
don't talk to
robot,
anybody.
yeah.
Don't talk to anybody.
I don't need any friends.
I don't need anybody,
right?
yeah.
I'll just be a lonely co-porcupine.
Oops, what's this? So I was like, all right, don't talk to anybody. Then like whenever you text me, like, yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
I'm available.
Yes, I'm available.
Please inform me of the.
I was like,
with regards.
oh my god, what happened?
Because
with
I felt-
regards, Aaron Tan like what?
Yeah, man, I was just being like talk when you need to talk, yes.
Yeah,
No, that's all I needed.
I was like, and I let it go on for a while, After some time, I was like, man, what's up? Like,
And
what happened to
because
you,
of that reaction, it also okay, you and Angie were like, hey, why is Aaron like that? Why are you not being yourself? Right? Because I always de-sell y'all, right?
Yeah.
And I remember last time, because both of y'all were my friends and both of y'all were TMs, teacher managers. So whenever I talk to you as a friend, you talk to me as a teacher manager, which is not what I want. So I need to boundaries a bit, like understand what I can say and not say.
Yeah.
So when both of y'all are in that same position, so when I joke too much, y'all will like give me some like PR answers. Like, fuck, that's not. I just want to talk shit with you,
Yeah.
So when you ask me about work thing, I reply you in work thing, lor. Then after that, y'all will be like, how come you never de-sell us anymore? So then I'm like, so what you want me to do? Like, if I'm myself, you scold me. When I'm not myself, I also.
Never mind. Now you can anyhow talk to me already.
So I mean, but it was a balance, I can't be on the opposite ends of both things. Previously, I was on the this.
Yes.
Then afterwards, I was like this. So I just needed to be balanced, which is the bridge, lor. So I learned to have a bit more boundaries, right? Like, I have, like, if you want to reach me, just cross this bridge first to at least let me know that, like,
You're on my side.
You're not on my side, but you are, like, because I can't cross that bridge. Because when I cross the bridge, this kind of thing happen. Because I got no boundaries on. I was just like, hey, what are you doing? But if you want to come and talk to me, then I will reciprocate. I will always reciprocate. That's the plan, But usually, as a guy, girls won't talk to you, one. So by default, I'm often left alone already. You know what I mean? Girls won't talk to you, one. Guys will talk to you, but in that environment, girls won't talk to you. It's just like that.
Au contraire.
Well, yeah, whatever lah. Fuck. It's yoga shit. I'm
Your
sick of it,
track
but
record does show that girls do not have a problem approaching you.
I'm an old man now. I don't know.
You were an old man then also. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't talk to anybody.
But this energy thing, right? Like, I think at the time when I had that conversation with you, right, I hadn't actually had this quite interesting discovery about this system called human design.
The projector.
The projector generator one. Do you remember what you are?
I can't remember. I'm not a projector. What else is there?
You are a generator, and you were so shocked when you found out.
What are the others?
There's generator, there's manifester.
Not manifester.
There's manifesting generator. And then there's projector and reflector.
I'm not reflector. Okay, maybe I'm generator.
You are a generator, I remember, because we were both very surprised when we found out.
I don't really understand this thing.
I don't understand it as well as like Angeline and Cass do, but when Angeline explained it to me, right, I found it so interesting. So there were a few things that she brought up. Very nice, right?
Very nice. It's good for
this
the pet.
sofa is from Bless Brothers.
A
gentle plug.
Yeah.
It's comfortable, right?
It's
because
good for pets.
Yeah, because Jude is very particular about like practical furniture. So our previous sofa was like the synthetic leather kind because you want to be able to wipe it.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I find it so hot to sit on.
I don't like leather. That one is hot. But the soft cotton one.
Yeah, so the
nice.
soft cotton one is nice, but synthetic leather still feels like leather, like the that kind of feeling.
So you like or don't like synthetic leather?
I don't like synthetic leather. I don't like. We're on the same page. Yeah, and like you know what a fan I am of fabric. Like look at my house, got cloth, got rug everywhere. Like Jude calls me cloth lady. So I wanted like a fabric sofa, but he said like it's very inconvenient because the cover cannot wash. Yeah, so then when we found this one, we were like, wow, can spill things on it and wipe. Then I was like, finally I have a fabric sofa. And it's in this beautiful mermaid teal colour. What are the odds?
to get it.
I'm so lucky that he doesn't care about colour. He's just like a practicality person.
He
let me destroy the whole house with this like battle pot vomit. We need to paint like a visual for our listeners.
Roku likes the theme.
He does not. Okay.
He come and touch me.
He just wants some masculine energy.
That's why.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
only
but
got-
it's
yeah.
the rug, the carpet here that is about 3 meters by 4 meters or something.
Yeah, it's a big carpet.
Is like magenta, yellow, blue, pink, and then there's cushions that are also colored in different prints. The chairs also have covers in different prints with a tablecloth that is a mandala in a different print as well. And
All
there's a
these
turquoise hammock
paintings
in the corner. The paintings are by me. I had my friend Pam over the other day and she was saying like, oh, I love that you hang up like all your paintings, you know. And I especially love this one there. And she pointed there at the only painting that was not by me, that was painted by Angeline. And I was like, oh, you like that one?
Angeline painted the
Angeline-
Mother Mary.
No, not the Mother Mary. Beside my
that's-
room one, you cannot see. It's a Komorebi custom painting.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, you like only that painting? That's the only one that's not by me. And she was like, oh, thousand
I like this
apologies.
painting.
It's not by Van Gogh on my TV. yeah. So Angeline told me about about what it's like to be a reflector.
yeah.
Which is what I am. And she showed me like there's this picture and there's like there's different like centers like in there's the different centers on like a human body. It almost looks like it's a graph for chakras, but instead of the chakras
Like the
they
Da
changed
Vinci
to the
Man, that
centers.
kind of thing,
Yeah, like the centers with the definitions, and hers was a bit colorful. Other people's readings were colorful, but my centers were all like white. And so she told me that that what the reflector does is that it takes on the energy of whoever it's around and whatever environment it's in.
Right.
Yeah, so then your dark energy in that sense.
so I'm the reflector,
with
right?
inverted
You're talking
commas.
about me,
You
right?
are generator.
Oh, okay.
Keep up.
So then
oh
why?
my god.
Okay, continue.
Angeline why would she tell me about you?
Yeah, okay. But then why are you saying? Okay, finish it. You say.
Yeah,
this.
so this like dark energy in inverted commas thing, it affects me more, not just because like I don't agree with what you're doing or whatever.
You're
but
just more sensitive.
Yeah,
to
I'm
that.
like a sponge. Yeah, so I take on that energy. Yeah,
That's why you are affected by it.
Yeah, and I mean, you see the kind of teacher I was when I was in YM. It's not really that I didn't belong. I still kind of like took on the energy there, and I was able to kind of like
Adapt lah,
shapeshift,
yeah.
and be able to just like enjoy that. But because I'm receiving that energy, and then after that I come to home and then I also receive the energy that's from home. Are you even listening to me, or are you just you're enamored by Roku?
You got whole year.
That's because he has lost a lot of weight, so you can feel the space between the shoulder blades.
tell me,
Is it funny to you?
You like me,
You are like
He's just
you,
like, huh?
Yeah, you
He
to
doesn't
him
look
now.
at
It's
us.
like my sis every time she comes to my place because she loves Amber, and then I would just be like, hey chicks, and then she'd be like, Amber, have you missed me? And I'm over there just like, I should leave the two of you alone. Like I haven't seen you for a while. Maybe you wanna give me a hug first, But yeah, I love having them around.
Yeah.
The cats, yeah.
Company.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
when I came to home also, then I felt like, wow, I'm exploring like a different side of my teaching and of myself that I haven't really experienced. But then that was also me taking on like home's energy, and I mean, I will still, make my own decisions and everything, but there's a part of me that always wonders whether, is it me or is it the environment that I am in? So actually the strategy for the reflector is to wait a lunar cycle, meaning like wait 1 month before you go and make like any
You bite me.
very serious decisions or deliberations.
Wait, in the lunar cycle meaning you just wait a month.
Wait a month before you make like a
Not
serious
wait for your-
decision. No, oh my god.
Just say wait a month now. You don't
You're
wait lunar cycle.
nonsense.
How must wait when
They
you?
call like that's what they say lah. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh my
okay.
god, you're such a boy.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yeah, but so then that's the idea lah behind
Okay. Makes sense. Just
yeah.
like give it 5 days before you buy the thing.
Something like that, but the deeper explanation behind it is wait for that energy to
To
clear
settle,
out because
right.
it might not be yours.
Right, your
And
default.
yeah, and
your-
sometimes she will remind me, like when I talk to her about something, then she will say like, this energy might not be yours.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she will say like, oh, set it aside. I don't think this is yours. I'll just wait for you to be done taking pictures of Roku.
Okay, yes, I'm present.
Are you though? Yeah, it's just because Roku is like probably the He's the most affectionate cat to me and Jude. But he's the least affectionate cat to strangers. Yeah. So this is like jackpot.
You like me,
Sorry to burst your bubble, but he was also like that with Cass yesterday. Yeah, but he's seldom. Yeah, he's seldom like that, lah. Yeah. Yeah, he's just looking to suck up to anyone who might not suck up. He's old.
Old, right?
He's older than you. Yeah,
Wow.
he's old.
So what does generator?
Generator, actually, you are the same as Jude also, you know. So, I'm probably gonna butcher the explanation, but you all will derive a lot of joy from creating your own things. Creating your own things or being able to be in situations where you can create your own things.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And generators are supposed to be very energetic. So,
Well, apparently
where did you go wrong? No lah. It's more of like, this is the design that like
because you generate lah.
Yeah. There are generators who are not living their design also. But when you are living your design, it will be favorable for you to be more energetic.
So something is stuck lah. That's why I'm like, my energy is not flowing properly.
But I feel like recently you have found that thing, and then now things are flowing, and you do enjoy like creating your own things. You know, like this podcast.
Like what, yeah?
Like you're going to find more passion projects, man. Yeah.
Yeah lah. Okay lah.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a few other friends also who are.
But
generators.
why was it surprising when
I felt like it was so when I found out that I was a reflector, I felt like it was answering a lot of questions that I didn't know I had. And then when I read the description of the generator and I found out that you were a generator and Jude also was a generator, actually I was surprised for that the both of you were, because I don't really see him in like a work context. But then after that, when I discovered, this is what he's passionate about, this is what he needs, the friendly one is here, Amber is here. Yeah, we definitely didn't have cats. We definitely didn't have cats the last podcast, because I would have remembered this disrespect, you know.
Mau. 可爱的猫猫
Amber's grooming Rocco. Yeah, she's put on weight since you saw her. She's like a rugby ball with a cat head now.
She groomed the boyfriend.
Yeah, she groomed the boyfriend.
Ayo.
Jude likes to joke that she's like me. Every time follow the boyfriend around.
You see, he looks so sian. Why are you so sian?
Yeah.
Okay, that's so cute. Ayo. So 疼.
So 疼 huh? It's been a roller coaster having them, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Did I tell you I tried to adopt a dog?
Yes, but I never got to meet him.
Yeah. He was this super sweet.
You just want to send me a picture of you walking a dog, like, huh?
I did, right? I sent it.
He's like, hey, guess what? I'm near your house or something.
Yeah.
Then you say a picture like,
yeah.
what is
Oh my
happening?
god, that was that day where he walked like I clocked 10,000 steps on that walk. You know, I had to call my friend to come and rescue us because he didn't want to turn around.
I see. He can't keep walking.
He keep walking, yeah.
Just pull up.
I cannot. He will just become like frozen. And the only way, like, he only want to walk in that direction, which is further away from the house.
So what can your friend do? Pick him up?
No, so he tried and it failed. Yeah, my friend came on his bicycle, and the funny thing is I called him and then he had just finished leg day at the gym.
Damn.
And then he cycled over paddling and I was like, damn, this woman, you know. Yeah, but he was helping me with like the coaching and the training of the dog, and to help with like the integration as well. And he stays super close. So he could come over whenever like I had issues with him. And thankfully he was in Pasir Ris that day when I walked until near your place, and I was just sitting down like waiting for the dog to turn around. So he cycled and then he herded us home like while on his bike. He said it's a tactic that they have to do at the shelter, because sometimes the dogs just freeze and they don't want to walk back.
Yeah, you need to you need to lead the dog.
Yeah, so I tried to pull but like cannot. So yeah, he herded us back, and I was like, that was the worst day to go and walk him in my slippers. I should have worn shoes or something, at least can like walk comfortably.
Mau.
You want to put the mic at in front of Amber instead, so she can be your guest? She's very talkative, you know. She will sometimes like, she'll always give feedback.
Got the tamago thing.
Yes. It's Gude Tama.
Oh,
her collar is
yeah.
Gude Tama, yeah. Yeah, but sadly, it didn't work out because Roku got too stressed. The girls actually were so brave, you know. And honestly, like if they can't get used to that dog, right? I don't think they will be able to get used to any other dog. It's the
'Cause
most.
it's the energy of
it's
the
the
dog.
most respectful, like low energy dog I've ever met. His name was Cactus, and after after we had to return him to the fosterer, I was so sad that I didn't teach Cactus arms for 1 week because every time I say Cactus arms, then I will think of him. Yeah, but he would just sit in the corner of the
Just chill,
sofa and chill. And I mean, he was leashed every time we introduced the
Yeah.
cats to him, but he never moved or pull on the leash at all. And the girls would jump onto the sofa and look at him, sniff him, and then Amber would sit down like next to him. So brave lah, the girls. But Roku was quite affected by it, and he stopped eating, and he actually had kidney issues in 2022. So he sadly had like a relapse lah. This was like last year, 1 or 2 months before Christmas, and he hasn't really improved lah. That's why until now, we are still
Doing
the subcut treatment. Yeah, but it's gone. It took a turn for the worse. I think maybe 2 weeks ago, and then we had to end up having to like subcut him twice a day. Yeah, which if he was still resisting, we would have to bring him to the vet twice a day to get the treatment done, which is quite difficult lah. You see, she also disapprove of your black things.
She like all this, so she licking.
No, she's biting it. She's trying to destroy it so that you have to buy something more colourful. I think everybody can hear you hitting Amber's butt.
不要咬啊 Okay lah. Man, how long have we been friends?
From 2017.
Since about 7 years, 8 years. Because I started
No,
yoga,
we've been friends as long as I've been teaching lor. So 8 years.
which is my yoga journey lor,
Yeah,
about
yeah,
7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn indeed. Coming to 8 lor. End of this year is 8, I think.
You're my longest yoga friend. Of course. That was just by default lah. Not like, oh, of all of them. This is by default.
By default. Who is my longest yoga friend?
Gabby?
No.
Who you practice with? Who's your practice buddy? You know? You know?
No, that
I think
can't
it's
be
me.
it. No, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think it's
I'm
me,
not.
eh.
I'm not happy with this
I
answer.
think it might be me,
No,
though.
I don't think it's you.
You think you count, then you're like, I think it's me, you know?
No. I mean, I'm technically I started as your teacher, so if you want to count that way,
就是我啦,
technically
it's me lah.
No,
So you're trying to say it's me lah? I think it's me lah.
it's not you. Oh my god. Oh, it might be Merdin eh.
Oh, but are you still close with her?
We still chat now and then, yeah.
Because from Lava.
And she's the person that I spoke to about
the TT,
joining TT leh.
then-
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it might be
Interesting.
Merdin.
Ah,
Yeah. See, she's trying to destroy all the black items.
不要咬. Ah.
You don't hit her butt already. She will get overstimulated, then she will bite you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay lor.
So sad. Okay lor.
More people. She's so round. So nice to touch.
Yeah, she was a totally different color when she came to us, you know. Yeah, her fur was a lot paler.
Why are cats all the tail like that?
I don't know that. I like to think that it's because they were from the streets.
So is that a
So I
thing?
don't know. Did they get into a gang fight? Then the tail just become king. But her daughter is like, the tail is short but it's straight.
Like is it like
I don't know whether
Like
it got
when
like caught
they-
in a fence or something. But some of them they are born like that lah.
Oh,
yeah, some of
okay.
them is born like that. Yeah.
okay lor.
Yeah, but Amber and Roku were from the streets.
Yeah.
Sammy was
Foster.
Sammy was like she gave birth to Sammy when they found her. So Sammy actually from young already got adopted quite early. Then she was rehomed. That's how she came home with us. So her tail is straight.
I like a kid when they are from the streets. They're a bit
Yeah,
more appreciative.
Yeah,
like more
she's
concerned.
so different. You remember when she first came home? Cannot touch one.
Yeah. Like you look at Sunny's cat and Sita's cat. They are like Princess,
Yeah.
Hi,
You throw them outside, cannot survive.
Yeah, they cannot survive one. But they are very friendly.
Yeah,
lah.
they are very friendly.
But they're like, wow,
Can bring to the studio lah, this kind. I
Can
bring
bring to
Roku,
the
he will shit everywhere, man.
they scared lah.
Yeah.
Okay, lor. Hey.
Hey, don't, she will bite you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
What's planned? What's planned for your? Remember, you said you wanted to mention some things about the future.
Now the yoga seat shala is under renovation, which honestly is what is forcing me to take a break from teaching lah. Yeah, because I mean I have gone back to work, but it is still like it's still a break from teaching. So I'm doing like marketing and events for yoga seats now, which is a nice combination of what I used to do and what I ended up doing. Like I feel like there's still that creative outlet for me, so I'm quite grateful for that lah. Yeah, and going back to learning from Wendy, going back to working like being able to work with Brian, who was my anatomy trainer, you know, is
Brian was your anatomy trainer.
was my anatomy
Back
trainer
when you did your YTT.
not when I did my YTT 200 hours, but when I did my 300 hours.
Oh, yeah.
My 200 hour
right,
trainer I
300.
think has it's not based in Singapore. Yeah, so it feels almost surreal that now I'm working with my teacher, you know,
I get it.
my trainer. And I mean, so much of my own solo-led TT was inspired by her and what experience I had with her, and now I get to teach alongside her. Like, that's pretty crazy.
It's surreal lah. Like when I joined home also, it was just like all my teachers are here.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, and being able to learn from
Yeah.
from them, you know, like, and see, you know, their school of thought and
Just
and
being
so many
around
different
them,
styles. Yeah. It keeps you wanting to learn more. It keeps you inspired. And as much as I loved having the creativity of leading my own TT, right, it comes to a point where like I wish someone would sit in and give me feedback so that I can improve the program and I can make it better for them. And I mean, now I guess I will have that, because there's hardly any time where there's only one trainer in the room. So there's always going to be someone else who's assisting or chiming in, and it feels like a more sustainable way for me to continue to lead TTs, and I want to lead more batches, you know. Yeah,
It's a nice space also lah.
It is, and after, you know, being in like crowded rooms and coming to town, especially being like on the train for an hour, you know.
I mean, unavoidable lah.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Yeah, but after understanding how I respond to like the environment that I'm in, it makes a lot more sense. And I mean, Bishan Park is not say any closer to my place than Orchard is, but I get there in the same amount of time like on a bus. So there's less change, there's less humans around me. You know, you are a fan of buses too.
Like when you go East
Remember
Coast.
East Coast 12?
Just, and somehow we are at the start of the thing.
So you can
sure
get
got
on.
space. Sit there and just
go close to a
reach,
window, listen to like music, read a book or something.
Take the train, you need to stand sometimes.
There's just a lot of people, and then it keeps stopping also. Like, so I feel like after I found out, you know, how I can be impacted and influenced by my environment, I can make more sustainable choices. So actually this year, one of my main intentions was to make sure I spend more time in nature. Whether that's like by going back into the water to teach swimming or to be swimming, or whether it's cycling to places more, whether it's to BFT or this morning to TP. And I mean the Shala is like right smack in the middle of Bishan Park. Every time I go there, there's just that space that you can hop back into if you want to, and there's a part of me that just really loves practicing outdoors lah, you know, being in the sun. It helps to reset my energy.
It's whether is it energetic, because you know when you touch the ground, so you that kind of feeling. But then when you touch concrete, you don't feel that that connection. So it could be very intuitive kind of feeling, just breathing the fresh air from the tree. There is a makes sense lah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we had hoped that the renovation would be done a little bit earlier because we still had plans for two intakes of 200 hour. We wanted to do one in July and one in October, but I think we're set to open in like mid-July, so we just wanted to play it safe, and we'll just have the batch that's in October, which is originally when mine was supposed to be anyway. Yeah, so I guess I have some affinity with October. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. Yeah, to be teaching TT again, and to be focusing even more on trainings, and to even teach CET, because I'm
what?
gonna be one of the trainers for the dynamic vinyasa module as part of the 300-hour TT. Yeah, so when this like finally, you know, there's someone else on board to kind of help to hold the fort for 200 hours,
Previously,
because
it
she
was
wants to
just
develop
her.
300 hours. No, it's always been her and Brian, for Brian doing like anatomy, and then she has another senior teacher there also called Joanne.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Joanne was one of the examiners during my TT. Yeah, so Wendy was walking around, but Joanne was also there, and she was the one who was assigned to like my mat. So then after that, when she came to my class in home, I was like, wow, for a moment I got transported back to like my TT exam again because I see her there. Yeah, so she's always been like, there's always more support like within the TT itself, and I think maybe that's just the way I end up.
Is that the neighbor?
No, I think it's just kids. Yeah.
That would be so funny if like
Again,
that
right?
again,
She's like, you're having podcast again, I never invite me.
so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so I'm quite excited about that lah, and I can feel like the change in my energy also. But yeah, I get what you mean about, you know, as nunting as the phrase that you used just now was, like, you know, hating yourself gets you to the gym. I feel like that's the role that BFT has kind of played for me now, because I mean, it started as like a 8-week challenge thing that I did with Angeline, and then my brother and my Sao, they train there also, right? So sometimes this kind of thing, right, is kind of fun when you do with someone else, and I just felt like I needed a change in energy lah, because after I moved out and like I no longer have my mom cooking all her healthy food, every time I'm stressed, like there's nobody here to stop me from like just binging. Like really just exactly the example that you used, like, oh, you love yourself so you just order McDonald's.
I deserve this, Lord. I work so hard.
It can
Just let me
really
eat
be
this,
like a rut.
yeah.
And sometimes like I tried to explain it to Jude also, because he was saying like, his weakness is cake, and my weakness is like potato chips or something. And I said, yeah, that's if you think of it as like food as a guilty pleasure, or like what are your
Reward
food
lah.
cravings kind of thing. But I told him like, you think of it as what, like, okay, he's not a smoker, but when he gets stressed, right, or like he's juggling work and school, it can get quite like overwhelming for him. Sometimes he will smoke when he's stressed. And so I told him like, when I binge eat, right, the chips or like the McDonald's is like what a cigarette is to you. And then he was like, oh shit, like that. Like after that he started to understand. So it can be a cigarette, it can be destructive
outlet
behavior.
lah. It's something.
It is, there will just be a vice. For
Yeah.
some people maybe it's drinking, vaping lah, whatever.
Everybody needs a
Everybody
vice.
has one. And wow, in the moments where I was juggling management and TT and regular classes, and also facing challenges in not feeling like I was hurt, and not having any other way to fix it. I'm sometimes guilty to say that I'm a yoga teacher, but I also like fall to these cravings.
'Cause you're a human,
there are so
what?
many other ways like I could have done it, and after that, I look back on it and I know I had a much better way to manage my energy, but I chose not to. And it's still a work in progress, and even though I'm not yet where I want to be, or as a yoga teacher I probably don't really fit that image or whatever, I still feel like, wow, I want to just go out there and do something, and lift some weights, or do some yoga, or swim a little bit, or cycle, and just feel the wind and the sun on my face, in my hair, and I feel so much better. Yeah, so it helps to have like a routine, and you know your day goes better when you do something like in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like when you have something to look forward to in the evening, and then the decisions that you make that day after that are just so much more mindful. Yeah. And maybe I won't always be able to make those mindful choices, or I won't be a mindful yoga teacher for 24 hours in a day. I'm still a human, but I feel like yoga guides me back to that energetic cleanse where I know, oh, I just step back on my mat, or I just go back out and be with nature, because yoga is connection. Yoga is connection, is union. And it's not just asana, stepping onto your mat. So maybe asana, now in this phase of our life, doesn't really serve us the same. But I believe yoga still can.
I believe it too.
Yeah.
You said about hating yourself. They are the same. Do you
Love and hate,
yeah.
you feel?
Because day and night, good and evil, this kind of thing, love and hate, they're all essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Because if let's say, if we use the analogy of hating yourself gets you to the gym, is that not love? You know what I mean?
You're still wanting to,
They're still wanting to
do
improve,
something
but that
for
is still
yourself,
love.
you know?
Just
Yeah.
like how love, oh, you love yourself, then eat on, continue eating on, continue
Yeah.
just indulging.
That also can be hate,
That's hate.
right?
So
Yeah.
it's not the word itself, it's the same thing, just different sides of it.
Yeah.
How you use that energy.
Yeah.
So again, when we're so afraid of using negative words, oh,
Yeah.
don't say hate lah, say
Yeah.
don't like or whatever. Don't so powerful ma.
Yeah.
But it's essentially the same thing. We're
It's how you look at it,
Yeah
and,
lah.
and what you do with it, I guess.
so it's not, hey, excuse me, it's not a good or a bad thing. It just is. And like when you also said, everybody needs advice because we are human. Whether is it watching TV, scrolling on Instagram, everybody needs that, just in moderation. Fine.
Yeah.
Have a cigarette, have a drink at the end of the day. It won't die one, you know.
Yeah.
But it's when you rely on it, or when you
Yes,
indulge in it,
yeah.
or when you're a slave to it, right? If I don't have the
You don't know how to come out of
then I
it.
don't know
Yeah,
how-
you're addicted already.
then
yeah.
then that's where
That's
jialat
when you
already
really
lah,
need
yeah.
help. Yeah.
And also it's hard for people that you love to tell you these things, because like say your husband, okay, let's say you say, oh, okay, I don't want to keep eating this or whatever, and then your husband says, it's okay lah, like it's okay lah, once in a while, then he buy you food lah, because he wants to care for you, what.
Yeah, no, thankfully he kind of knows how to manage me. He knows when I need it, and he knows when I probably don't need it.
Right.
Which I think is so much like the relationship we need to have with everything.
Yes.
With yoga, with gym, with food or
And
whatever.
imagine now if, say, he does this, right? He still buys you nice like candy or whatever, and then someone from outside looking in, oh, he loves you so much. Does he really?
Yeah.
If he's not taking that into consideration, versus like, no, don't we're eating salad today or whatever. Then like, hey, salad, he treat you so bad ah.
Yeah.
But it's also love, what?
And
so,
you know what? Last time, my mom did that to me so much, and I always thought like, wow, she's just,
The
controlling
parental
my
love lah,
food and
yeah.
everything. And honestly, there were some nights where I will like go to sleep a little bit hungry
Yeah.
because she portion control for me. But now after I move out, I'm like, wow, that was actually love lah. It was love. But I mean, we all have different ways of dealing with it, reacting to it, and then there are different lessons that come from it as well. And I have had that conversation with her before. I have told her like, sometimes when you do this, or when you stop me from taking extra food when we have other people around, it makes me feel a little bit embarrassed or guilty and like shameful. And recently she started doing this really cute thing where when I post things on Instagram or like market my class or whatever, she will reply and she will say like, looking good, my daughter.
such
Yeah. Like I think she knows like how much it affects me, and
some more words of affirmation.
yeah,
I
the
just see-
relationship that
yeah.
like I have with my body has always been like a challenging one. Yeah. But in a grand twist of events, I went to sign up for this like fitness competition thing called High Rocks. I don't know if you've
High
heard
Rock,
of it.
never heard of this.
Yeah, it's spelled HYROX, and it's actually like BFT is like the High Rocks training center for it lah.
What
So
is High Rock?
it's a combination of like fitness.
Hydrogen
No.
and
Hydrogen
Rock
and
climbing.
oxygen, no. High rocks. I don't know like what significance the name has. I probably should go and read up on it or something. But it's basically like fitness stations, and then in between there's like a 1 km
Like a
run.
Spartan racer.
It's not really a. There isn't really like an obstacle course kind lah. It's different stations, and then
But what do you do like NAFA? Like a marathoner, but with.
no.
So what are the stations?
Stop talking.
What's
You
happening?
marathon. It's like held at National Stadium, that kind. So there's like farmers carry, then there's like
Sounds like a-
burpee broad jump.
Like a CrossFit
a
competition.
little bit, yeah. And then like the rowing lah and the ski erg lah, that kind.
Ski erg?
You pulling the thing that looks like stretch cords like that one, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I signed up to do women's doubles with my 二嫂. So we can kind of split the reps in each station, so it's less like torturous. But make no mistake, it will still be torturous.
How long is this race? Like, it's not a 3-hour kind of thing, right? Is it?
I don't know how long it will take.
Because if it's marathon-y, it's like 7 hours.
Yeah,
or
but
some
I don't know. I don't think it will be marathon-y, but it might be like half marathon-y or longer. It might take longer, I'm not sure. But in between there's like 1 km in each station lah. So total there will be 8 km run. Yeah. And the run cannot split. That's the first thing
Must
that we
run,
checked.
must run together
So
lah.
must run together. But the reps in the
Can she
station
run?
can
Is she
I'm pretty
fit?
sure she runs better than me.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
can lah, fit can.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but we will both probably be like a little bit complaining
Not
together.
interested in this kind of thing. I am not interested.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. Like I have this fire that like can be a little bit competitive, or like I want to try these things. I want to push myself. That's why I feel like yoga always balances me out.
Yeah.
But then for a while also, I found that I was being lazy in my practice, and things that come easy to people in like maybe their first year or second year of practice is probably a bit like maybe take me 7 or 8 years, that kind. I mean, something simple like headstand, because I fell before, so it's still like a work in progress now. But I feel like there is this dedication that I still want to put in, and it's probably because of that fire lah. That's why when you describe your relationship with yoga being like compassionate, do what you want, it hasn't always been like that for me. Because when I first came into it, right, I had that fire. I want to do this, go and do like 108 sun salutations, that kind of thing. There's a lot of fire in yoga, but I think because of the way it's marketed,
Maybe.
people don't really
And also
see
just who I resonated with. Like, say
yeah.
if...
the teachers that you meet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there are definitely more fiery teachers. And then, like, Lee in particular was very...
Chill.
lah, or like, yeah lah, she's not the kind that will like go, right?
Yeah.
So I like that ma. And then also sometimes that's the that's a bad thing also, because you can't always do the thing that you like ma. You have to do something that you need to do. I don't know, but I mean, I don't regret. Hey, I don't regret any of it. I enjoy it still. I mean, it just doesn't serve me now, lor.
Yeah.
You know.
Thinking back on like how we met, what a huge part of our life like yoga was, how often you used to do class.
Just hang out with you the whole day.
Yeah, at like East Coast.
I don't know how you put up with me back then.
I also don't know.
Because like for me, teaching is draining. And then like, wow, imagine if I teach the whole morning, say 2-3 classes, and then I still have to talk to my friend. I'll be so spent there. But then like for me, for you, we are like, oh, take the bus together, talk, which class I attend, and after that break, chit chat.
I need
then
to
afterwards,
remind you,
go and talk again.
when I started teaching, I was 24.
Is youth really that much of a factor?
I think yes, but also I was such a new yoga teacher. Suddenly with this amount of freedom as compared to a corporate job, everything suddenly felt like, wow, I have
Oh,
this,
you're
like I'm
24
living the life. Yeah, I started
So
teaching when I was 24. Yeah, and I was making fun of like my trainees for being 24 when they took my TT, and then I counted back and I realized I was also 24.
Wait, how old was I then?
Old lah.
29, 28?
4 years old, 28 lah. Yeah.
28. because I remember I only joined yoga after I broke up when I was 27. 28. Damn, we're so young and innocent.
so young,
That's
both.
10 years ago, I'm fucking 30. Almost 40, dude. Fuck.
That's such a typical like yoga origin story. Like break up then go into yoga.
Is it? Do people do that?
That was me also. It's such a it's a very typical like yoga origins story.
True.
Yeah.
I guess gymming also was a breakout then go gym kind. We always end up finding like movement to heal.
I guess, yeah.
It's just a way of distracting you, ma. How to distract, like, cause your mind is already like, your heart and your mind is like, you have all this like angst, you can't do anything about it. Best way is to go work out, lor, to expand that negativity.
I remember the Ashtanga class that I did the first day of this new year. It
Where?
was at Yoga Seats. It was with Wendy. And there was, I think, 1 or 2 people who had never done Ashtanga before. So they came for the Ashtanga led class. And I saw how she changed. She still kept it like traditional. She still kept it like the basics of primary series, but we didn't have time to do full primary, of course. But she introduced a bit of gentle movement first, and to kind of like ease them into it. And I saw how she was able to keep the intention of the original class without them feeling left out. And when I saw how she wove that together, right, man, I felt guilty. Yeah, because I don't think that I have done that for the newbies who have come for my vinyasa class in the recent years. Yeah, I felt guilty, and I called myself out on it. I was like, I don't think I have done that. And so after that realization came, I tried to do that more for the classes that I taught. And this isn't even a part of my teaching that I have considered until recently, because when you join YM, your freaking duty is to make the newbies feel welcome. You know, that's the power of their branding. Yeah, Sammy just knocked something
She
down.
knocked my key down.
I told you to keep it. Now you're just never gonna find it.
From there I put it here.
Yes, they can reach it.
Naughty.
Any loose item on a table that can be pushed down shall be pushed down, especially by Sammy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it's like reminding myself of how important it is to be a good teacher. Not just a movement teacher.
You are a good teacher, regardless of whether you are movement teacher or basics teacher or whatever.
Thank you.
Because you are you. Ultimately, that's all that people like you for you, ma, regardless of what you know. And you can only share so much in an hour class. And also with HOM, it's a different crowd and it's a different way. Like, say, when this place, you can sort of sit down, chit chat. Okay, so today we're gonna blah blah blah. In a public class, you can't really have that luxury. What you can't be like, anybody first time, you blah blah blah, just chat for a bit. Okay, so today blah blah blah. You just have to go, right? And that's also the culture of HOM, right? People just close the door like, let's go. And it serves a purpose also, right?
Yeah, I guess we just change with each place that we teach at.
Different studios serve a different purpose as well, right? Like you have your YM as beginner friendly, so that they curate it in that way.
Yes.
For us, we are a little bit more like, I wouldn't say advanced, but
we do attract
a bit more
advanced
serious.
practitioners,
It's more serious.
More serious, more traditional, I guess.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is great also, what? Right? We left YM
to explore this style,
Yeah, because I mean, like, YM serves its purpose, but we at the time it was moving away from what we resonated with.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right? No fault to anybody, what? Yeah, but YM's doing well, you know.
They're expanding to Hong Kong, I think.
expanding.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay.
So many shifts, so many changes.
Yeah. Okay, good lah, everybody. Can't be in the same place, what, right?
Can't.
feel like I'm in the same place, you know.
Why?
Or rather, I mean, I feel like I'm in the same place ever since like when I went back to home. Because I was supposed to move away from home, move away from yoga. Then I got pulled back, and then I keep seeing all those people again. Then like all the people from my past are coming back. How to move forward, right? And then I think also with my trip coming, my move lah, not a trip.
That sounds so scary when you say it like that, man.
Because a trip implies like it's
short.
Short.
How long do you think you're gonna stay there for?
Then I'll come back lah. But it's long enough lor, right? So with my move coming, at least it's change, something different. So I embrace it. As fun as it sounds, ooh, you know, you're gonna go somewhere else. But man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what. I had to start again. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to have had a community there, and I'm familiar with that place. So like, sure, I can just start. But there are certain things that like living alone. Not that I love it lah. Actually, it's not a bad thing but like I'll miss my mom, I'll miss my friends. There's certain things that I need to let go of, need to sacrifice in order for something greater ma. So I allow that process to happen, and I really don't know what will happen. So that's why I trust it, because staying here, you know what's gonna happen. That's the thing. So if you know what's gonna happen, then nothing will change, because you already know. But if I don't know, then there's a possibility of something new happening. Could be good, could be bad, but I trust myself to handle it regardless of, right? So the goal now is to just find strength. Because if I'm too afraid to handle the unknown, it's not the unknown's fault, it's my fault ma. So to handle that, I must be brave. To be brave, I need to be prepared. I need to be strong, I need to be equipped. How do I equip myself? Go gym more. Right, it's very simple stuff. Pick up the thing, put down the thing. Yeah.
Is it different, like when what you're doing in Thailand as compared to when you're
Energy
here?
is different.
Environment
is different. I mean, you take the train here already, you feel sian already.
Yeah.
Over there is different. The space. So much space, so much green. You're in touch with nature very easily. You look out the window, it's already mountain. People there, they're not rushing around, they have nowhere to be. They can afford to wait at the traffic light for you to cross the road, so nobody's rushing. You feel safer there also. Because the people there don't have to survive, they can thrive. Because things there are cheap and there's abundance. Here there's not enough. No space, no money, nothing. We have to struggle. And that's what I'm annoyed at. Because I just cross one line, imaginary line, and go to somewhere else, and then like, how come people here are a little bit more, you know? And it's not like, wow, down there is so much better. It just so happens that the culture is different, and I don't like it lah. Like compared to here. And if you like that, Singapore is safe. Singapore, there's no corruption. There's all that. It's a great place to do business, you know. But for me, at where I am now, there's something else that's more important than climbing that corporate ladder.
That's like way past us
Yeah
already,
lah.
man.
So like we this kind of people, we cannot.
We're too far gone already.
We cannot go
There's
back
no
to
way
the normal
back.
life.
Cannot. Yeah.
But I mean, if I have to, I have to. But I just don't even know what to do. Then like I'll be.
Oh my god, you're gonna put on a suit and go to City Hall.
Oh, do I have to fucking wake
go to
up at
Raffles Place.
7, show up to at 8, fucking type, send email. Again, no fault to that. Like this is a job lah. It's a normal job. But like, I'd rather fucking be a barista, like make coffee or so. At least that gives me some satisfaction. Yep. So we'll see lor. See whether I'll see how, like, I mean, Thailand has given me a lot, so I see what I can give to Thailand now. Singapore has taken a lot from me as well.
I'm excited for you.
I'm excited too, but I'm also not.
Because you've done it like many times
I've
before.
done it, and I'm also like, I don't want to get too excited. Exciting, I also want to be afraid. Because if I am excited, ooh, can't wait, means that it implies that like there's something better there. Which maybe it is, but it's just a different chapter, lor.
Yeah.
Nothing good or bad. What if I go there and I die? You know? What
Oh
if I
my
go there
God,
then like,
that's very pantang.
you know what I mean? What if I go there then like it's horrible and
Yeah.
like I'm suffering over there? So
Yeah.
I won't know, ma. So I don't go there with any expectation, but I feel like it is the right thing to do, lor. So I honor that, and I go, and I go like, I leave everything behind, lor. I have to, what? Leave my job, leave my mom, leave my friends. I have to leave all that to go. Otherwise, you know how.
You know, I saw a fortune teller before who said that I would migrate.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I was like, man, that I think he predicted like 3 or 4 things, and until today, that's the last one that hasn't come true.
What are the first few things?
The first one was that the relationship that I was in is not gonna last,
Which is back then,
which was back then. But the funny thing is that he told me that like that was literally the first day of the relationship.
Whoa.
So I spent 5 years thinking like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And then after that, when it ended, I was like, okay, that's the first one.
Okay.
Second one was that I will not end up in a desk job.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's
kind of generic
it's
enough.
still a bit generic.
Generic
Yeah,
enough.
still a bit generic.
Actually, they're all pretty generic.
But to tell the person with such confidence, the relationship you are in now is not going to last.
Was he there? Wow.
No.
No, right? It's
No.
you alone.
And I was with friends who didn't even know that I was in a relationship. So then they found out through the fortune teller that I was in a relationship. Yeah. The third one. The third one I can't remember now, man.
The migrating?
No,
that's
that,
four,
that,
total
that was 4,
four. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that was 4. I can't remember what's the third one, but yeah, I think the third one also came true, and then the fourth one is that I will migrate. Yeah.
Still got time,
I don't see it happening, man. I mean, at the moment, I haven't even been overseas. He's bouncing. He's gonna bounce at me. Yeah. I haven't even been overseas for more than 2 weeks at a time. 2 weeks is the longest that I've ever traveled. Yeah.
Because you got your mama and you got
No, but this is
work.
like before I even got married. In fact, the longest trip that I had for 2 weeks was before I got married. It was when I was in Bali with Gabby.
Oh, 'cause
And
you're
then you
doing your
joined me
TT.
halfway. No, you joined me halfway for diving.
Oh, that was the.
Yeah, that was like I was kind of traveling with her, but we were kind of doing our own thing.
But it's also your-
She was doing a TT. I wasn't. Yeah, I
wow,
wasn't.
That was 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That was your longest trip.
that was my longest trip. And by the 5th
And
day,
I
I
was-
wanted to go home already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to do with you lah. But yeah.
I joined you at the 6 day, 7 day.
You
what?
joined me on the 5th day.
Is it?
Then I wanted to go home.
How long were we there for?
I was there for 2 weeks. I think you joined a little
joined-
bit later.
yeah,
and then
but-
Putri was there also, remember?
Oh.
Yeah, that was like the big YM reunion.
And,
Leon,
Nikki.
Leon, Nikki, yeah. We
Oh,
all
they
met.
touch,
Stop fighting.
Who else? The
Samia.
4. Who?
Why?
3 of them. 3 of them.
I
Is
feel
it
like got more leh.
I feel got more.
Go back and look at the group picture.
Yeah.
But it might be like, yeah, it might be. Yeah. It was insane. And then you remember she went around with us to the locals and she did all the bargaining for us.
Yes.
And she spoke
She
in like
can
the
speak like
the heavy Javanese accent.
blah, blah, blah.
that was so funny. Yeah, but after I got married, my trips are like shorter. Because now I will miss the cats.
Yeah. I think if you,
And my husband.
Yes, of course,
Of
disclaimer.
course, yes. Yeah, and I mean, but back then, like I would miss like being home. Then I'll miss my mother. Then I'll message her. I'll be like, I want to come home.
yeah.
And also like if I'm traveling with like friends, there was one time I think I thought it would be a good idea to travel for 1 week with friends, and it was diving lah. So I was like, okay, we are going there for the sport. I don't think of it as like I'm there to like bond with you all or what. And I mean the friends that we went with, like I was close to, but then there were also some
Random
other people
people.
from other dive centers who were coming with us. And there was just one day, and I was rooming with 3 other guys who were all very gentlemanly. Every time I'm showering, they step outside of the room, like they wait in the balcony kind. Yeah, but there was one day I was just like so overstimulated. I just told them like, oh, I'm not feeling well, you all go and eat without me. And the guy who was in the room who was closest to me, he came over and he was like, do you want my Netflix password? He knows that I just want to escape. And yeah, so I think it's just the more I teach and the more energy I give, the more it can drain me if I don't have like a proper reset or a recharge. Yeah. And I mean, I'm on that dive trip. The dive is the recharge lah. But then I come back up to the surface and then everybody's talking again. Yeah, sometimes you just really need like pockets of silence. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So who knows? If I'll end up migrating one day. But I'm very bound to my family lah. So I feel like if I move, they probably need to move with me also.
Or you just do somewhere nearby, Malaysia.
I guess, yeah, but even then, like it's like I can't do this thing where like I move overseas
Then
for
come
1
back,
year
go,
and then
come
come
back,
back.
go,
I need to know where my home is
Yeah.
so I can come back to ground.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean,
Part of being a
fortune
reflector,
teller.
I guess.
can you be wrong sometimes?
Yeah. He was technically a palm reader. He was a
Same
palm
lah, I
reader,
can see
yeah.
that.
The third one was that I will be a fortune teller myself.
Huh? That come true also.
I
In a
know.
way lah.
I guess so. That's
In a
very
way,
funny.
yeah,
I
in a
forgot.
way.
He did this thing like he looked at my palm and he identified this like fish. There was a fish in my palm or something, and so he said like I think I had 2 on my left palm or something, and then one on my right palm. And he said if I have 4, I can be a fortune teller. And then he
Means you
found a
have the
4th, and then he
gift.
found a 4th one.
You have the gift.
Yeah, but the meaning of like one of the fish on my left palm was that I will bring my spouse a lot of fortune.
What
Yeah, what ah.
Wow, yes.
So Jude will benefit lah.
Show me her backside.
Yes, she does that to everybody.
Eee.
Yeah, she's a bit of a hoe.
My fortune teller told me to not invite too many random people into my space.
Oh,
Energetic also.
into your space meaning like your circle or like your
My
house.
house, my space. I took it generally.
Okay.
Like I am also my own space.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you so I took it as house and me, my like circle, and to not immerse completely in water. Can be here lah, but don't go and dive.
That's interesting.
I was like,
I
okay,
agree.
可以
I agree.
我不喜欢
Considering you tried to kill me.
Twice apparently. I have no recollection of this
That's the worst. That's the worst part
No
You
recollection.
didn't even
I really
know
don't
that you
know
killed me, you know.
I really
That you
don't
almost
know.
killed me,
I really don't know. I don't feel anything Oh, so bad. So I cannot dive in.
He pulled my regulator out of my mouth.
I don't
And then didn't even know.
didn't even know.
And when it fell out, I was like, oh, this is why we learned the regulator retrieval drill.
I don't feel anything. I don't feel like I'm touching something. Is my hand or my leg?
It was your hand.
I don't feel anything. At least hand I can feel,
Okay, because
right?
you were holding my arm. You were remember we were caught in the current
yeah.
and you were not moving. You were being a total like you were just flopping around in the water, and I was like, oh my god, I need to save this person.
But I was cool about
You
it.
were cool
I was
about
I was
not moving.
All right, save me. Just come and save me.
You are the calmest, like you're the calmest
I'm
diver.
gonna die already lah.
Yeah.
Never mind lah.
So I went over and I asked you to hold on to my arm.
Yeah.
So you held on to my arm, but you held on to my regulator as
Side.
well. Yeah.
So when I let go-
the hose was there. So you let go, you pulled it with you, and then it just came out.
Okay, lor.
And you la 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 continue
I got in front,
kicking
right?
forward, and then
Yeah.
all the bubbles go into my face. And I was like, oh my god, I just saved this person, and he doesn't even care.
Whoops. So I can't go diving. Diving is so easy to die. Oh, I'm so scared of the water.
Traveling also so easy to die. Leh.
That's true.
You can die in an aeroplane.
That's
it's more
true.
likely than dying underwater. But it's also more likely to it's higher likely to die in a car. If you think about it. You walk out of your house, you will die already.
Yeah.
Do you know how horrible I am in planes?
What do you mean?
I'm terrible because
Did we fly back together? No, right?
No, we didn't. So we haven't been
fly
on the
back
plane together.
alone,
You
ah?
fly. I think you stayed longer. Did you stay longer?
I don't think so.
I don't know, but I'm terrible with G-force. So whenever I the feeling of falling, I'm terrible. So roller coaster also, I will just pass out on the spot. I can't.
so
He's
scary.
looking at me like I'm
you
very
just-
lame like that.
A bit lame roller coaster can faint on, but it's a people do
Not
that,
that I actually faint but I
It's a blood thing,
it's,
ah.
I will really just
a vertigo thing, ah.
Yeah, I'll just be damn terrified. And we had very bad turbulence on the way back from Bali when I was with Jude. Yeah, and I was like, there were literal babies on the flight. She doesn't like that. Yeah. There were literal babies on the flight and they were fine with it. But I was over there borderline gonna cry already.
2 hours How long is Bali? 2 hours only.
2 hours, but the turbulence was maybe for 10 minutes only. But I was I was gripping Jude so hard, and then
Jude was there?
Jude was beside me. No, this one is
Another one,
this is the recent trip when I came back from Bali. Yeah.
You got breathe through the paper bag.
No, I didn't need to lah, but I was
Mr. Bean.
I was low key panicking already. Yeah, and then I always say every time I'm above land, I will feel very paranoid. But when I'm above water, I'm okay. So parasailing, even though it's very high, when I'm falling, I'm okay. So Angeline keeps making fun of me. She will say hey, your house got hammock, but it's above ground land. Then you lie in it, you won't scared. I'm okay.
It's essentially the same thing. I just pretend that it's higher.
Yeah, no, but it terrible aerial or pole. All this I also very scared. I stand on that time was it Colette's skateboard? She was doing a shoot. It was someone else's skateboard. I stand on the skateboard also scream for 1 minute, and she was like, okay, forget it, fuck, I don't need you. I don't need you on the skateboard anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, you like the water, I like the ground.
Yeah.
I like to be
Jude
on the
is the same as you,
ground.
he likes the ground.
Yeah.
So he go parasailing, that one was way out of his comfort zone.
I feel like you have a lot of guys in your life that protect you.
Why do you say that?
Your father, Jude, the guys that come out of the room to let you shower, that kind of thing. You have a lot of guys.
Are you sure they are protecting me, or are they just afraid of me?
I don't think they're afraid of you. I don't think it's a fear.
No, huh?
But I mean, do you think so?
You say I every time scold you.
You scold me, but I'm not afraid.
You sure? You're not scared?
I'm scared, but
Fire.
I'm not I'm not scared to the point where I
Will,
whenever you
cower.
scold me, right?
Yeah.
I kind of know it. I deserve it, lah. So you scold, lor. But I'm not afraid of that scolding, right?
But yeah, now that you mention it, yeah, because especially my diving friends lah, because they've seen me
They
get
watch out,
vertigo
yeah. Right, 'cause
underwater.
you
So
freak
a
out.
lot of them all just
Yeah.
look out for me underwater, even without me saying. I'm lucky lah. I'm blessed to have that. My brother also.
Yeah.
He will look out for me in. Well,
this
are you
person-
pointing at yourself?
It's me also.
Yeah. Okay, I guess. No lah. You will keep an eye out for me, and you will if there's things that you feel I shouldn't go near, you will just you will let me know. But yeah, you cannot point to yourself underwater. You only protect me on land. Once we're underwater, the
That's
role
true.
totally switched.
I think I'm very loyal to you. I feel there are a lot of times when I will choose you over something else when in hindsight, because you've been there for me a lot, through almost a lot of my nonsense from back in the day. And I'm definitely very loyal to you. I will fight anybody you ask me to fight.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
Do you remember that day when you suddenly you messaged me and it was something that was a questionable opening, and that's Roku.
You scared or what?
No, that's his
His
that's
playful.
his playful noise
he
and hungry noise.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
I know.
we call it his tuna tunes.
Oh.
Yeah, he will make this noise when I take his food out also. Yeah. So I think you messaged me something that was a little bit worrying. I can't remember what it was, and then I was asking you like, "Are you okay?" Like I thought you want to ask me like to lend you money or something.
Oh,
do you remember?
What would
I cannot
you?
remember what your opening was, but it was very different from the usual way you messaged me.
Okay.
And then I was like, "Are you okay?" Like I thought you were going
Do
to
you
ask.
need money?
Then I was like, "Do you need money?
I don't need money. I'm rich.
Yeah. Then I was like, "Are you okay? Do you need money?" Not like I'm very rich like that, but I was like,
How you lend me money?
and then you were so moved. You were like, "Oh, you will lend me money,
Yeah.
Like, and then I was like, "Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask me like for 5K or something." And then you were like, "Oh, you will lend me 5K lah." And I was like, "If you are in trouble and like somebody gonna kill you, like yeah, I will lend you 5K lah." But I was like, I remember in that moment, it was a very funny thing. Are you trying to find it? Are you trying to find the message? Search 5K, maybe it will come up.
Is it
I don't know, 5K
5 and K or
5
5,000?
I think it was 5K together. I don't know what it was, but it turned into a very heartwarming conversation after that, because you were like so moved. You were like, "Oh, you would let me 5K ah." Yeah, and I actually feel like our friendship, don't find already lah, give up. Yeah. A classic example of me scolding you. Yeah, I actually feel like our friendship is a bit unorthodox. You are very different from a lot of the friends that I have around me.
Yeah.
But actually at the same time, we also have a lot of things that cross. I mean, like, we are already in the yoga circle, that's one. But you are very different from a lot of the friends that I have around me, and like your values are also very different from what like I have. But there are also many things that we share the same also. And actually I had this conversation with Henry also, where he said like people have like the wrong idea about him sometimes, and he actually told me, he said like, if you put my name on your TT, like you'll get less sign-ups, that kind of thing. But I've always been the person who just want to I'm
back
like
then
I just
you vouch for me a
yeah
lot,
I'm like I just want to have my own personal experience with whoever I'm interacting with, and if I've had a good experience with them, like sure, maybe I'll be cautious if someone I trust tells me like, hey, watch out for this guy, but I still trust my own experiences. Like maybe people will call me naive, but it's because of this that like I end up meeting people who are not like me, or who don't have the same kind of like background that I have had, and then I can meet new different people and understand more people, because there are more people who are like you, and there are more people who are like me also. And the vet that actually we keep bringing Roku to, right, actually they have a lot of like they have had a lot of bad press before, but the vet that has been helping Roku with all his things, right, has been so wonderful. And I've met all the people that like last time the bad press was about, and they've always been so wonderful with him. So I'm like, I will just trust what I have experienced, and that's like
a good way to go about life.
I guess, yeah. But then with that being said, like, we have had our challenges with like values or things that you talk about that I'm maybe a little bit uncomfortable with, or things that I assume you won't be interested in hearing about. But actually, like, I think it was my sis who told me this, like, we sometimes automatically assume people are not interested in what we have to say. And remember that time also I told you like Drew and I were thinking of starting a family, and then I was also like, assuming that you will not be interested in it at all, and just kind of like eliminating that possibility to connect with you, and choosing only to share the aspects of my life that are fun and free and cool that I think you will resonate with, and then choosing not to share the lame parts like, oh, I travel, then the day 3 I want to call my mother, these things, even though you're rolling your eyes at me now, even though when I'm being
glad that you shared
and honestly, after I could share that with you, like that part about me, like, possibly being so traditional, like wanting a family and all that, it was kind of nice to talk to somebody who doesn't want it. Because absorbing all of that energy while I was in home, also surrounded by mothers, surrounded by people wanting to be mothers, we were the minority, and man, that 1 or 2 years where you are just trapped in something that you in the cycle of thinking like this is something that you want, and it is something that you want, but not being able to see past it. Like there were so many other things that were going for me, but I was like tunnel vision on this thing that is just not happening for me, happening for everyone else around me. Teacher after teacher getting knocked up and giving their hot classes to me. At some point it like, wow, I really didn't feel like myself, you know,
you mentioned
in
this,
that time,
that
yeah.
time.
And to finally be able to come out of it, like just not because it's happened, but because you know this is not something that you can control. And to even really truly consider if this is the life that we want, because now I'm seeing it on the other side, you know. It just feels like it's nice to have real friends who are around you, just being real, being honest about their experiences, being honest that, you know, motherhood isn't always everything that it's made out to be, like how it's expressed on social media, and just more opportunities of those raw, naked people coming together and being honest about things that they were maybe otherwise afraid to admit. Because you'd be amazed the types of connections that I ended up having when I admitted to people that now I'm thinking maybe this isn't really what I want, and they will admit like, you know, yeah, there are times when, you know, I face like a challenge having one-on-one time with my husband or one-on-one time with myself, you know, things like that, things that they value. And I guess if more of us were just honest with each other, we would encourage more people to be honest with themselves also.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom.
Oh, very well said. I agree wholeheartedly. Home has a lot of moms, sure. You're immersed in that space. For me, like, I have no intention. Okay, wait.
Hey.
Okay,
That's what you think.
okay, so I've always never wanted to be in a relationship, let alone start a family, right?
Yeah.
I've always been the bachelor my whole life. I've never seen the need to, or rather, I don't believe in it. I've seen so many of them fall apart. Why would I believe in something that is so fragile? But of course, I'm looking at it through a different lens, because that is what I immerse myself in, and then that's how I get involved in this kind of nonsense also. But ultimately also, there is the good side to all these things, as much as there is the bad. And if I focus on one, I don't get to see the truth, because everything is love and hate.
Yeah.
Everything is a duality, As much as it is painful to be in a relationship, it is so beautiful to be in one. As stressful. You look at every mom that we know, they are a bit like, oh fuck, I gotta fetch my kid, I gotta do. It
so many
sucks,
things
like that
going on,
life. Like, if I look at it, and it reinforces my thing, right? This sucks, like why would you even put yourself in that situation? Versus like, oh, but then, you know, it's such a beautiful thing, the gift of life, blah blah. And I also can't disagree with that one. That's true. But, you know, it is what it is. And like, say now when I look at myself or so, I think a part of me not wanting to be in a relationship, or not wanting to say, okay, me not wanting to be in a relationship means that I don't want the responsibility of caring for someone other than myself, right? And if I put myself first, or if I don't care about anybody but myself, my life is very meaningless. I just do what I want to do. There is no one accountable I am accountable for. So hey, if I want to stay up late, I'll stay up late. If I want to travel and not give a fuck, I can go for as long as I want. I don't have anybody to come home to. And I love that concept until I didn't.
Do you not now?
I think everybody, everything that you believe in, or everything that you want it until the point where you don't want it. It helps you until the point where it doesn't. And once you reach that point, you have to acknowledge it, right? You can't continue, because then if you continue doing the thing that is in conflict with what you actually want, then you are suffering. So let's say if I wanted connection, or say previously I didn't want to be tied down. Great, I lived that life until the point where I wanted something more. And if I keep doing the same thing, and I live that path and I just keep having like these transactional experiences, then I'm not fulfilling myself. Then I'm in conflict internally. So then I need to do something else.
Yeah.
So let's say if now I wanted something else because I didn't want the old thing, so I need to do something else. Having someone to come home to, that's great, right? Who doesn't want that already? Such a beautiful thing, especially at when you get older. I just want to go home. I just want to hide out at home with my cat or whatever. If I that's my dream. I just have a house, have a cat.
Yes.
And
Why
if someone,
stop at one?
And if why stop at one?
Yeah,
why stop at a cat? Just fucking have a giraffe or elephant or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And if I have someone there with me also to share this, to share life with me, great. I love it. I welcome it, right? Previously I didn't want to. Maybe now I want to, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's scary because I'm not used to that kind of thing, right? Anyway, if I now have someone to be who I am responsible for, now when I go to work or when I do something, there is a reason for it, It's not just for fun. I want to work not for the money. I just want to play. I want to do what I'm passionate about. But now, if let's say you gotta feed the kids, you gotta pay the bills. Oh shit, I gotta show up to work because like people are depending on me, and ultimately that is the role of the man, the provider. I didn't see that previously because my dad was in that role, so I didn't learn from it. And then now, say if I not just say a partner. What if a family? What if you have a family? Now that's even more responsibility, and it's even more of a motivation, right? Because now you're living. People really depend on you now, especially a child where like they can't fend for themselves. You need to really feed that person.
Yeah.
So if I'm open to a relationship, why would I not be open to starting a family also? And then when I think about this, like it makes sense logically, but like,
I know.
You know, like,
I know.
you know, this is this is me
Who are
saying all this kind of
you?
thing. But then also I have to allow myself to change.
Yeah, don't
I have to allow
hold
myself to
yourself
all that,
off,
right?
yeah.
So
To the point where it doesn't serve you.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I as of now I don't want to have kids. That's true. But if I did and circumstances allowed me to, I won't resist it. Right? If I'm super rich and hey, just so happens the girl is knocked up, let's do it. Why not? But if I'm not in that position, I don't want to. That's true. I do not want kids. I feel like the world, the climate today, not the best. But also, who knows, right?
Yeah.
Who knows what can happen? But at least just acknowledging that side of me, of like, anything can happen, that gives me a bit more of like a hope, I guess, on
There's space,
somewhere.
there's
There's space,
for
yeah.
more, yeah.
And so, but like, hey, for now, let's just start with like just being in something a bit more stable in terms of relationships. Like, I think I've been single for a long time already. I love it. I really being single is so fun. It's damn fun. But I would like to just practice. Like, I just want to practice. Is that a bad way to say it? Like, I would like to be able to care for someone other than myself. I think I've cared for myself long enough already. Having a pet at the very least also.
Yeah, you can
but
start
I can't,
with
you know what I mean?
cats. Oh, yeah.
I can't because I don't. I still stay at my parents' one.
Yeah.
But that's the dream. The dream was to get my own place, have a cat. Yeah. Like
I was just saying to Jude this morning, sometimes I can't believe that we have cats. Because when I was young, I like always wanted pets, and I would just find any
stray animals,
anything that like might possibly be acceptable by my mother. So I started with snails. Like I brought snails home and I'll feed them lettuce, like just to have a pet. And when I started bringing home the very big shell kind, right, my mom was like, "Man, mommy tried to be okay with this, but I cannot. Can you release them downstairs?" So I released them downstairs. And after that, I tried like fish. But yeah, I always wanted like a cat or a dog lah.
Something a bit more.
I can touch
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Like the reciprocates.
Yeah, and I love the three cats so much, and it's brought me and Jude closer also.
Yeah.
Like it's like our practice kids lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good practice.
Yeah,
for sure.
and to me this is our family, you know,
Yeah.
and my priority has always been like one-on-one connection with him, but his priority is like stability, security. So you know, the introduction of anything that is too new or too different sometimes can make him feel a little bit stressed. But to me, I'm like, anything that will help us connect better, like I would love that. But the reality of it is sometimes the introduction of a child means that there isn't so much space for that one-on-one connection with each other anymore. Everything becomes like three-person
lah.
connection, yeah. And that's something that we will have to bear also, you know, if
So
we are
you leave
blessed
it
with a
to fate,
child.
lor.
Yeah, so now we are just leaving it to fate, leaving it to God. And he's a staunch Catholic. He believes that everything that happens is by God's design. And it's true that actually if we had gotten pregnant when we started trying, like I might not even have found this shift to come and join Yoga Seeds. He might not have gotten the opportunities that he has with work now.
Because you gotta.
And we would have been so stressed handling the new
Right.
child and Roku's condition now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to acknowledge that there are so many things that have gone right for me rather than just focus on this one thing that is not happening
There's
when
things that-
exactly when I want it to happen. Number one, having a safe space to come home to, like, that's a really big privilege already. Not everyone feels safe at home. Yeah, so really just counting my blessings and really just being grateful for what we have with the time that we have.
There's things that we cannot see, right?
And things we
There's
can't
strings
control.
that are being pulled. You know, you just do something, you say something, and it's all being, it's moving already,
Yeah,
right? Things are being
yeah.
things are moving all around us. We don't know lah. We just have to trust law, right? How do you feel about closing?
I think it's a good place
No?
to close.
The energy is sort of like dying off already. Not dying off, like it's summering up already. Like it's like,
Yeah. Yeah, well, we talked about so many things today, yoga, gym,
it's fucking whatever
connection,
that has happened.
our paths and where they have led us. And I really like that, like the family and friendship theme came
Yeah.
in later on. Yeah. So with your journey coming up and my new journey unfolding as well, I think I just want to close with saying that, like, I'm grateful for the friendship that we have and for the people who, you know, are still in our lives even though they are different from us. I feel like that makes the friendship even more special, you know, when you still find a way to connect even though your circumstances and your passions are and your values are different. There's something else that is surpassing all that, and that's friendship lah, I feel.
A connection, ultimately.
Yeah, connection.
All right.
Okay, now since you have gained Roku's trust, you have to help me catch him.
All right, let's do it. I need to pee first.
Okay.
Okay lah. Okay,
Bye.
that's it. Hello again. Thank you for listening all the way to the end, for making it this far. Hope you enjoyed it. And let me elaborate a little bit about the hedgehog's dilemma that I forgot during our chat. So the premise of it is that it's cold and hedgehogs will cuddle together to find warmth, right? But then if they become too close, they end up hurting each other because of their sharp spines, right? We understand this concept. And it's a metaphor, right? We are the hedgehogs, right? We crave closeness, we crave connection, we crave intimacy, and it's just human nature. But then when we get too close, when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we put ourselves at risk of hurting each other, whether it's unintentional or whether it's just some way of self-protecting ourselves, right? Self-preservation. Hence the dilemma. The pain of loneliness versus the pain of being hurt by others. Stay apart and suffer in the cold, or stay together and suffer from the spines. What the fuck? There are a few ways to deal with this predicament, right? So the first way is you just be lonely. Some people like it. I like it at times. I like it most of the time. I like being in my own company. I like doing things on my own. And I'm sure everybody has a friend or knows someone that like during the pandemic, they fucking happy. They like don't need to go out, don't need to go to work, stay at home every day. Everything's closed. The streets are quiet. Some people like it. No need to go fucking deal with your coworkers or attend any fucking weddings. Love it. But the downside to that is that eventually the coldness of social distancing becomes too hard to bear. So then you can look at the second, like the other solution is to then engage in human interaction, right? To create meaningful relationships and to join groups, form communities, make friends, network, build that support system, build that support network. Because again, we're naturally social beings, right? We crave connection inherently. But of course, if you do that, there is the risk of course, hurting yourself, exposing yourself to the spikes. A way to deal with this is to... So here comes... I've explained the situation. So here comes the two solutions, which is kind of the same. Okay, so solution number one, you take the risk. You take the risk of putting yourself out there to meet people and to form those relationships, right? Because most of the time, when you consider these relationships, not all of them are going to be sunshines and rainbows, yes. But most of them are going to be fine. Unless you are like in some fucking abusive relationship or whatever, right? Or somebody like cheat on you, then sure, you're going to feel the inevitable pain that comes with closeness. But otherwise, maybe the 80%, 70%, maybe 60%, I won't be so bold. 60% of your relationships are going to be tolerable. They're going to be endurable. And if you're lucky, the enduring that pain of closeness is worth the support that comes from it, right? So option one is take the risk. Just make friends and put yourself out there and potentially be hurt. But hey, at least you get to be with people, right? The second solution is to isolate, but not to be alone, because no one wants to be alone, right? I don't want to be alone. Like, I don't want to be lonely. But if you are able to, like, why do you need someone's warmth when you can generate that warmth yourself, right? Why do you need someone when you can fulfill yourself? So the second thing, which I don't know how to describe it, I call it isolation, but it's in a way improving yourself so much that you enjoy your own company, that you can create your own warmth, and then you don't need other people, and then you don't put yourself at risk of those spikes from other people. This requires a lot of mental fortitude. You have to be very strong mentally to be alone without feeling alone. And if you can manage that right, and you generate this warmth for yourself, you can therefore be content in the solitude. Maybe I use the word solitude, not isolation. Isolation is a bit negative. Solitude, it's so beautiful. What do you want? Who's this? Okay, let me fucking silence my phone before I continue. I'm wrapping it up, right? If you think about it also, are we really truly alone when we're not, right? We are in the company of ourselves. And if you truly love yourself, you would love to spend time with you. But of course, once in a while you go out into the world and you integrate and you still bond with people, but you don't need their warmth. That's the difference. You don't need other people. And we all strive for that, right? We strive to be self-sufficient. To deal with the cold or to deal with the spikes, we choose it nonetheless. And I will leave you with that. Also, as of the recording of this episode, it has been, I think, about a month now since Meiyan's cat Roku passed away. Just wanted to mention it as a little tribute. May he rest in peace. If you in this podcast you could hear me playing with him throughout, so that was him. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone in Singapore is doing well. And if you like what you hear, as always, share this with your friends. Tag me, tag the podcast, IG. I'll repost it, yada yada. And then if you want to show your support, go to coffee.com/mostlyyoga. Give a little something. Much appreciated. Okay, all the links will be found in the description below. If you are friends with Meiyan, tell her I said hi. Okay, bye.